choices, standing up for the families that took a loss. This something that we find important. Rep game strong, chest up. Little homie, keep your head up. You can be whatever you want. Get rid of the fake and it will add up. All my life I strive for greatness. I'm manifesting my time with patience. People try to copy us, but respect is earned. It's not an obligation. I love the fam and they love me back, and that's why I always have it back. So I give a voice to those people who would never...
Bing bong. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to this 12/6/2023, and we are back today with another sit down. You can call it a podcast, you can call it whatever you want to call it. Welcome to the stream. Shout out to Low 12. I hope you are having a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here. As always, every day, Midwest, Gypsy, the other Aaron, Patty, Sailor, Mom to Five Kings, What is True, Delana, as seen by a subscriber. I finally made it. Can one of the mods walk me through how to work Discord on my phone? I know how to work it on my laptop, but the phone not so much. I have an Android. So what you got to do to get into Discord is you got to connect your YouTube account to your Discord account. So you need to make sure that the YouTube account that you have your membership on, you connect that to the Discord account and it should let you in from there. That's how that works. What's going on, Wicked? Shout out to you, brother. Wicked in the building. Thank you, Patty, for the 9 months. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. Thank you. Jackie. Nice to see you, Jackie. Tammy. Sorry, I was busy hunting aliens. Diane, what's going on? Diane? It's nice to see you. Oki says, hey, T-REV was catching up on yesterday's show. Glad I caught it live. Glad you're back on. F the haters, they're just jealous. Yeah, jealous fuels fires, right? Julie says, well, okay, I seen it. Hello, T and Rev Game family. So glad you are back on today. I told you guys I'd be back on today. I'm not playing no games. You see, if you were with, like I said yesterday, if you were with me last year, then you know how much time I put in. So to think that I won't do that again is absolutely insane. Mickey Morgan, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Chris 206, what's good, T-REV? Glad to see you doing your thing. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the love. Thank you. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button as you come in, as it helps any creator that you support. So any creator that you support, when you come into anywhere, you should definitely hit the like button. If you support them, it's free 99 and it's FTA for the algorithm. Now ScrewTube will try to rip you off. You know, they'll try to hide you from the algorithm. They're unsubscribing people from my channel. But also there's another issue going on, which I've been talking to Google about. D Evans, what's going on? It's nice to see you. Cookie Monster, what's going on? Thank you for coming by. As seen by a subscriber, thank you. Your love to mods, chat, Sosa. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the love to the channel. As always, feels good to be in a fam stream. Seen all things going on YouTube. Yeah, crazy shit. You got creators at war with each other and all different types of stuff. People hit me up with it and they're like, check this out. I'm like, man, that's not what we're here for. I'm here to do true crime. I'm not here to be a part of your brigade of drama. Enjoy it though. Have fun.
Bing bong.
I believe in bing bong. Yay, I'm catching you live. Welcome back, T-REV. New content is fire. Yeah, there's a few things about the new content that dropped. And I'm going to open up the lines as usual, as we always have done. 219-885-9693. Obviously, you know that. So if you are going to call in, you have any theories or anything that you want to talk about, I don't care what the topic is surrounding you. Like I said, this is true crime time. We talk about obviously the Idaho Four and obviously a bunch of other cases. There's going to be tons of different things that I talk about on this type of platform. How is Sosa? Sosa is doing great. Very healthy. Very good. Carol, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you for asking, by the way, Mickey. Carol says hi, T-REV mods and chat. Good to see you all. It's nice to see you too. Rev Gang is here for justice. Absolutely. Tell them again.
Bing bong.
Oh my
They love that. They love that. What's going on, JB? Hey, T. Love to see you back on the grind. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right, so let's dive into. I'm trying to think if I want to open. I'm trying to think if I want to open a line. Now, in this video that I dropped, I don't know who's seen it or not, right? And I'm getting a lot of. I know people are hitting me up, and the consensus has been heard. I am gonna start narrating it. I do know they got some. I do know in this video, and the narrator got names wrong. We don't like that. I didn't like that. And I did hear the feedback. Everything was good about I read it, and the majority of you said everything was good, but the narrator mispronouncing the victims' names. I agree 100%. That's the type of feedback I'm looking for. And that's why I am now narrating all of them myself. Tabby Cat says, hey, at work, lurking in the background. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. But let's jump into it. Let me pull it up on screen, right? Let me pull it up on screen. Let's go over some of the things. What are you guys' thoughts on this new video circulating on Dylan Mortensen and her out living her life and people scrutinizing her for going out when just before their, alleged contradictory statements were made, they said that she was reclusive and at the house playing video games, etc. Right? But then to see a video come out and her to be so heavily scrutinized and tore up from the floor up, especially on Twitter. And speaking of Twitter, I need to share this on Twitter while I'm talking about it, like the stream in general. Whatever platforms you guys are on, share it, tag me on Twitter. I'll repost. Hold on, let me put this up here real quick. We are live. Come by and call in. We are live. Come by and call in. Be a voice. Community. Yeah, come on now. Come by, call in, be a voice in the community. That's what we want. All right, boom. Got it. Posted. All right. Sosa is healthy. Yes, Sosa is very healthy right now. Thank God. Hello, everyone. I talked to you yesterday on Panel Night Show. This is a true crime show, not a drama show. This is one of my absolute favorite channels to go on and watch, or to go on to watch. Thank you, Lisa Wilson. Thank you. Henry Luke says, T-REV, the man, much love, brother. Thank you, man. Sailor says, there's actually a lot of things going on in crime last few days, too. What you got? That you have the inmates that escaped. We can't touch on that real quick. Actually, I do want to read that to you before we do dive into Idaho Four phone calls, which I'm going to open up. And I think we're going to stick at 5 minutes on the clock with maybe a 15-second grace period. I want to let everybody get through. A lot of you called in yesterday, so I want to try to get as many of you through that want to call through. All right, so yesterday there was a inmate. It says police searching for a man who escaped from Blair County Prison through a ventilation shaft. Hollidaysburg, PA. It's Hollidaysburg, PA. Police are looking for a man who escaped from the Blair County Prison through a ventilation shaft. The Hollidaysburg Borough Police Department. Yeah, the Hollidaysburg. Yeah, that's what it's called, Hollidaysburg. I'm making sure I'm not tripping. The Hollidaysburg Borough Police Department, located about 2 hours from Pittsburgh, posted a bolo asking for help, looking for an escaped inmate, Isaiah Robert Tiggleman. Is that how you say it? Tiggleman? Tillman. It's Tillman. So it's escaped inmate Isaiah Robert Tillman on Sunday. Police said Tillman was being housed at a Blair County prison for a drug-related violation and a state parole detainer. So he obviously broke his probate. Okay, I see. According to court documents, Tillman climbed through a ventilation shaft just outside his cell door. CBS affiliate WTAG or AJ reported he allegedly used jail clothing to make a rope, which he used to climb to a nearby platform. He then got outside through an unsecured window and on top of the roof, AJ reported. So in an update on Tuesday, Hollidaysburg police said that Logan Township police had a report of a stolen vehicle on Monday. Surveillance video confirmed Tillman stole the vehicle, described as a red maroon Ford F-150 with a chrome strip across the bottom trim. The license plate is ZNR 9945, which police said Tillman stole off another vehicle. Anyone with information is asked to immediately call 911 Hollidaysburg Police at 814-695-3711. Or just contact the Logan Police at 814-949-3364. So this dude is wild. So across the state, there's also a manhunt underway for an inmate who escaped Northeast Philadelphia Correctional Facility. Police said a 34-year-old Gino Hagencotter walked away from a supervised program on Thursday. Hagencotter climbed a fence and left prison property after telling a security guard he had to use a bathroom. CBS Philadelphia reports. There have been 2 other high-profile prison escapes in Pennsylvania this year. In July, a homicide suspect, Michael Berman, used his bed sheets to escape from the Warren County Jail in northern Pennsylvania, sparing a 9-day manhunt with the $22,000 reward posted for his arrest. He was captured after a dog alerted a couple to his presence on the property. Danilo Cavalcante, who was serving a life sentence for the stabbing death of his ex-girlfriend in 2021, escaped from the Chester County prison in August and was on the run for almost 2 weeks before he was recaptured about 20 miles from the prison. He's now housed at SCI Green in Waynesburg. So that's the update on the escapes, but there's a lot of stuff going on in Pennsylvania. You know, what's up with all these escapees? That's crazy. That's crazy. Alice, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate the support to the channel and love. You always show love. So it doesn't, I'm not baffled. I thank you so much for your kindness and generosity. I really do appreciate it, Alice. You said sorry, I'm not a Ray. It's okay, Ray. Ray says sorry, I'm not a member anymore. I'm broke is a joke and it's not funny. Well, I mean, we could make you one. We gotta get you a gift card with something on it. I'm sure they'll accept it. I'll make you a member. Message me. Steffi, hey T-REV game. What's going on, Steffi? Nice to see you. Let me catch up on chat. Thank you, CKI. I appreciate it. Treats for Sosa for being healthy. Thank you. Kuzmo Gaming, what's going on? Thank you, says CKI. I appreciate the love and light. At last, got you live. Been live. Baby, what's going on? Welcome to the stream, Maxine. I appreciate you coming by too. Addie, hey y'all. Lynn is so sad. Hi, T-REV. What's going on, AJ? I'm catching up on chat because I had to read that article and I missed a lot of chat. So I'm reading what you guys were saying live again. Nice. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, just make sure you guys, as you're coming in, just hit the like button. That's all I ask. It's free 99. A little late, but here. Okay, so wow, August seems like a few weeks ago for Cavalcante. Yeah, that shit was a while ago. Cavalcante, we were deep in here. We had 17,000 people in this stream at 3 a.m. in the morning or 4 a.m. in the morning. 3,000 or 17,000 people in my live stream at that late. I was like blown away because it was a hectic night. Everybody got off, but I stayed on. Haters gonna hate. What's going on? Haters gonna hate. Nice to see you. Doozy said I had to fix that. Usually, I'm glad they don't take your guys' time that you've been here away if something messes up like that too, Doozy. So shout out to you. Heidi says, awesome to hear Sosa is healthy. Yeah, he's doing like I said, he's doing very good. But let's dive into this. Let's go ahead and have a conversation about this and maybe take some phone calls.
Students were stabbed to death in a shared rental home close to campus.
I want to go over some things on this.
2 female victims, Madison Mogan and Zana Kernodle, lived at the house, while the third, Kaylee Goncalves, recently moved out of the house.
That's the type of shit on the videos that I don't want, and while I will be narrating every video. Kaylee Goncalves, Zana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Ethan Chapin. That's the way it should be said. And it was said wrong here. And trust me, I read the feedback. I will be narrating every single video. I'm not going to be lazy.
House, but returned to the house to attend a nearby party. The 4th victim, Ethan Chapin, was Kernodle's boyfriend, who was sleeping over on the night of the attacks.
Small
About to open
university
up.
town of Moscow, Idaho. A massacre of 4
Boom.
college students in the middle of the night. So horrific, the coroner is still processing what she saw.
They'll be looking under fingernails. They'll be doing all
I got the
sorts
clock.
of
Let me see.
different exams. It was very, very traumatic.
2 other female roommates also lived at the house. They were not attacked. No calls to 911 were made until 11:58 a.m., many hours after the early morning killings.
I was there.
The call made at that time requested aid for an unconscious person and was placed.
Now, in this video, I do want to say that when I sat down with who I'm working with, I should have had, I don't know why I didn't mention it, but in this video should have been mentioned about people coming there early in the morning about those rumors, or at least should have talked about it. But I did want to just stick to the factual stuff that's on the documents, which I preach to people all the time, is stick to what's on the documents for now. If anything changes, then we move accordingly, you know? So that's why I say that. But yeah, in this specific documentary right here that I dropped, or not even really a documentary, it's just a video on surrounded the 8 hours. Hold on, let me talk to who this is. 774, you're in the door. What's going on? You're live.
Hey, what's up, T-REV?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good. This is Allison. I'm calling from Worcester, Mass.
Allison, what's going on? So what's on your mind? What's your thoughts? Anything?
I don't know. I'm just so happy you're back. I figured I had to call and say what's up.
Well, I appreciate that.
So, what are we talking about?
What you mean?
I don't know. I think that you had just started a video, so I just thought I would.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm talking all right. So, for instance, like, there was this new little footage that came out. I think it was JLR posted it on Twitter. It got a lot of attention, was posted on, multiple different articles. It was a video that came out of Dylan at some type of, I guess, party, right? And I don't know. She's being heavily scrutinized for it by a lot of people. And
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about right now. That's what I want to go over.
Okay. I saw the picture of her next to a sunset, but I haven't seen any video yet.
Oh, wow. I could show you. I'll pull it up on here so you guys can see.
Awesome.
I'll pull it up so you guys can see. Where you calling in from?
I'm in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Haven't I swear I've talked to you before.
I've never called, but I'm in the chat.
Okay. I was like, man, I know. So a lot of voices sound familiar to me. So thank you, CR.
Well, yours definitely sounds familiar to me.
But yeah, let me see.
So I was in the chat yesterday and I was talking about how I had learned about Brian's aunt in Las Vegas.
Yeah. I remember.
And how she was accusing his twin brother that she was married to one twin and she's accusing the other twin of killing him.
That's wild. That's crazy.
So I had never heard that until I went down that rabbit hole.
So you said a twin brother did what?
So Michael Kohberger, his father, has twin brothers. And one of them passed away. And so I was in her Facebook, looking at what she had posted, and she said that that she believes that his twin murdered the other twin.
Damn. So, whoa, that's
so that would be, yeah. So that opens up a whole bunch of stuff.
That's a hard thing to talk about, right? Or it's not a hard thing to talk about, but for me it is, because I would need to see like that the actual hard proof of that really happened. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well,
because
I've only seen what she says.
I could eat. You know how rumors spread on the internet. Like anybody types in one thing, and next thing you know, 50 people are chanting it, and maybe 5 people out of the 50 believe it, and they go somewhere else and they say it, and next thing you know, it's starting to turn into this made up truth from people of this really happened.
Yes, this is alleged, in my opinion.
Thank you, Shar. Yeah, it's crazy. That's wild. I have to look more into that because I've heard something about it, but I don't know the validity to it at all.
Okay, so where I saw it was Facebook.
Okay.
And she had a couple different accounts, and they were all public. So
do you have screenshots of it or anything?
I could get them.
Yeah, I would like to see it. I would personally like to see it. I seen one thing, but that was only one thing. I'd definitely like to see some screenshots on that.
All right, you got it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you calling in, man. God bless you. Lock your doors. And
All right.
I hope you and your family have a wonderful holiday.
All right, you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. I appreciate her calling in. I know what she's talking about. Now that I think about it, I do remember you guys posting it in Discord, and I read it, and it was something about that. But I've seen people say they debunked it too, but I don't know. I don't get that part. Leisure, thank you. Woohoo, T-REV is back. Missed the lives, loving it. Keep smashing it. T, love you. I love you back, Leisure. Thank you.
From within the residence using the cell phone of...
Let me pull up this video real quick that I'm talking about, because it seems like maybe some of you haven't seen it. I don't know why I feel like that. I feel like some of you maybe haven't even seen the video, and I know a good amount of you have. If you followed Idaho Four, you definitely seen this video, but maybe there's a small chance you haven't seen this video. So just in case you're that small percentage that hasn't seen this, I'm gonna track it down right now and play it. Let me pull this down real quick.
Of one of the surviving
this
roommates.
while I'm looking for it.
When police arrived, the door to the home was open. There was no sign of forced entry or damage inside the home, and nothing appeared to be missing. The identity of the 911 caller was not released, but police confirmed the caller was not considered a suspect. After the public release of the affidavit, questions were raised as to why the surviving roommate didn't call for help. Dr. Catherine Kuhlman, a police and public safety psychologist, suggested to Fox News that she may have been petrified with fear.
I found it.
When a person goes through trauma, they are going to experience fight, flight, or freeze, she said. Most people in their entire lives won't have to deal with this type of trauma and won't mentally prepare for it.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Doozy. Yet, most people cannot deal with that type of trauma.
Surviving roommates in the University of Idaho massacre.
Hey, Elser, that's why I'm doing it. The general consensus has came through. Like almost every comment I read said T-REV narrate the videos. So I did just that. You'll see.
Reportedly awake.
I had the Kylie Rodney video uploaded, but then realized there was something wrong with it, so I took it back down. It was going to be uploaded today, and it still might be, depending on if I get it back in time.
Father of one of the victims, type of trauma, and won't mentally prepare for it. Surviving roommates in the University of Idaho massacre were reportedly awake and texting during the murders, according to the father of one of the victims. 2 roommates inside the off-campus Moscow home in November were said to be on their phones in bed, while 4 victims were fatally stabbed inside the residence, allegedly by suspected killer Brian Kohberger. Yet Steve had been told that the 2 survivors allegedly had not only been awake while the killings had taken place, but that they had heard everything. Steve Goncalves, father of victim Kylie Goncalves, told.
See, that was another part. I didn't like that. Steve, I was like, man, like I do not like that. I do not like the names being wrong. I don't.
Old airmail. More astonishingly, his grand jury sources alleged that the 2 girls had been texting one another as the murderer methodically went from one room to the next. Detectives believe that on November 12th, the 2 surviving roommates had also been out in the Moscow community, separately, but returned home by 1 a.m. on November 13th. The two did not wake up until later that
Thank you for the
morning,
4 months.
Moscow Police Department
I
said in
appreciate that.
November 2022.
The community of Moscow and this home.
And by the way, anyone who wants to call in is 219-885-9693. Everybody gets 5 minutes as usual. The old school style. Everybody gets 5 minutes with a grace 15-second period. Because I do feel like it. I know a lot of people were calling in yesterday.
King Road are forever tied to the murders that took place inside. And that's why, as the community focuses on healing, the university has decided to demolish it.
Yeah, fuck AI. Excuse my language.
Moscow, Idaho. The surviving roommates may have been spared because the assailant ran out of energy, according to a former federal agent. Police tape is seen at the back of a home in Moscow, Idaho.
908, it's never too late. What's going on?
Hey, T-REV, it's Chris. How are you?
Chris. I missed you, brother. What's going on, man?
I missed you too, man.
Nice to hear from you, man. I'm really psyched up to hear from you today. What's on your mind, man?
I got a theory with the Idaho Four.
Let's hear it, brother. Spill it. Let's hear it.
And it might explain the when the what you call it, when the police came in and they said it was a targeted event right off the bat, like the first day, and maybe to some extent the gag order. It's a little morbid, but I'll run it past you anyway. You know.
Yeah, run it up.
So you remember the panty house and stuff like that? I call it the creep and crawl house, Charlie Manson.
Yes, sir.
And that house, I think that house, something's going to come up. If it does go to trial, I think something's going to come out of that, you know. And I'm thinking that, and I'll explain why. I'm thinking that maybe our indicted suspect here, allegedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe he wrote something on one of the walls in maybe blood, or wrote something on the wall, not to be morbid, derogatory to one of the victims. And the reason I say that with the gag order, and then it's a targeted event right off the bat, was if one of their names was written on the wall, once the first responders came in, detectives, they would say, okay, this is targeted to this certain person. And then if
I agree.
And then the other thing is, too, you have people that came over that house that, and this is something they always save in the, like a lot of these crimes, these horrific crimes, they always hold something back. Like DC snipers, they held back that tarot card. Remember, they found towards the end the DC snipers, and they held back from the public that tarot card, because they always want something there that they could come out at the end in a trial or whatever.
They stare because they know I'm,
you know,
Whoa. That video, oh my bad, that video, I just my bad. I was like, you go ahead, keep going.
I'm interrupting you. Sorry.
No, I interrupted you on accident by playing a loud video.
No,
you're good.
Yeah, and with the gag order, you have all those people that came at first, so maybe they're gagging them so they don't relate that information back to the public.
Right.
They're holding that back. But yeah, it's, you know, it's like a DC sniper and stuff like that. You know, towards the end they came out with the tarot card that they left they wanted like $10 million ransom or something. I don't know if you remember that case with the DC snipers in Washington, and they wind up being from Jersey and all that. And
yeah, I do remember that. Chris, 1 second before you say what you want to say. All right, I had to mute this. I wanted to mute this so we could put. This is the video that I was talking about, so I wanted people to see it just in case they haven't. All right, go ahead, keep going, Chris. You're good.
No, so that's, you know, I was thinking that, and maybe it would explain why you would, you know, because it's not a national security risk. We don't have operatives, CIA operatives in hostile territory where they're, you know, what you call that, harm's way, you know. So I'm thinking this case is not really a national security risk. I don't know how many of these just regular state kind of murder crimes are have gag orders on them. You know, so I'm thinking there's got to be something there that's
Well, you
holding
got
everyone back.
Richard Allen, right? Gag order.
Richard Allen,
Yeah, it was gag order.
it was gag ordered, and then it was brought back, right?
I'm
They came
pretty.
out.
I mean, but there's so much more information coming out with Richard Allen than there is with Idaho Four.
Yeah, that guy looks like Arthur Lee Allen.
There's
I
so
wonder,
much
I
more.
wonder if they're cousins. I wonder if they're cousins or something. You know, it's just I don't know, something like I saw, but
I
yeah.
think, and that was a good. I actually said that one time. I don't know if you heard me say that, but what you just said before is the whole thing about it being targeted and the breakdown of it being a targeted attack is what would indicate that it's targeted. Something written on the wall, like you just explained. So yeah, I agree with that theory of targeted attack from the jump. They said it almost day one from one of the first pressers. So yeah, I absolutely agree with that theory breakdown that you just gave me, especially that part specifically.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something derogatory, and then their names written on the wall. Could be any one of, even the surviving victims. Could it be one of their names on there? I don't know, but it's just a theory. It's kind of morbid and everything. I understand, but it is true crime. And like the piano man Billy Joe says, when I think of true crime and everyone's opinions, I think of like I may be wrong, but you may be right. So. Yeah, it's just something to think about, because it would kind of explain, like, why did you have the gag order? Why did you say it was targeted right off the bat? Then they says, oh, just keep your due diligence and lock your doors and all that stuff in the beginning, because I've been with you over a year, T. I've been watching you and calling in and whatever, trying to correspond or whatever.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I'm just thinking, like, why would there be so much control over the courtroom and this and that? It's not a national security thing. It's not terrorists or anything like that, But
Yeah.
it just blows my mind. I don't know, But
We'll
yeah,
people are asking who the girls in this video, and I'm sure you've seen that. Hold on, let me dismiss that. I'm sure you've seen that last video that I dropped before. Yeah, this was in it. This was posted recently, and it came out shortly after one. I forget who said that, but there was a post coming out with Dylan's, parents speaking. Well, she's living a reclusive lifestyle, playing video games, blah blah blah, and then that's when this video had popped out afterwards. So I don't know. People think that it's very contradictory, but in reality, I mean, what's contradictory? All right, you were living a reclusive, lifestyle 2 weeks or 3 weeks prior to that post, but then you went out and people do go out. People do decide to go out. There is a thing, there's something called, decisions on spare of the moment, or somebody hits you up and says, hey, do you want to do this? And you decide to go do that. So it's like, they did say that, but at the same time, she doesn't have to sit there and live a reclusive lifestyle because somebody said that's what she's doing.
No, with the two girls, it's been over a year, right? So those two girls, I mean, Dylan probably, she probably didn't know till the next day. That's when the shock phase came. Probably saw what happened, came outside, threw up. Bethany probably came out, called 911, called the friends, and then they went in and saw the carnage, But it's been a year, so hopefully she got good therapy, maybe some medication, and it's been a year, and then maybe therapist said to her, hey, you know what? Why don't you just go out with your friends for a night and have a good time? And then people, her friends, because, the other thing too is, everybody's got a cell phone today, and you got six. When you're younger, you're more inclined to use a cell phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got six people in that house. I'm sure, like I said before, that you're going to have some kind of, I would say at least audio, maybe filming of the ceiling or something, but there's going to be some kind of audio of that crime from inside the house, I think, from one of the victim's cell phones. You got Xana was on TikTok. This one, there's got to, I'm pretty sure that's something. If it does go to trial, and I don't think they're giving this guy a plea deal. People say the plea deal. I don't think he was offered a plea deal yet. So I don't know if they'll, maybe they're trying everything they can to get him out of the death penalty phase and all that. But there's something else there to it all. And, it's right now it's just, I could just put out a theory and stuff. And, I think that, the girls downstairs, I think they're just victims. And, if they can get back on their feet and move on with life, I think it's a great thing,
Absolutely, Chris. I agree with you, and
so
you'll get through it, man. I appreciate you calling in. I'll hopefully hear from you again. I like hearing from you guys, and the people that spoke, they want this platform. They want the platform back where every time I go live, I open the phone lines, and I get it. You guys love that stuff, and that's where a lot of you found me from. So
I enjoy it. I like the people that call in, and sometimes I don't agree. I don't agree with everyone, but I respect everyone's opinion. And like, I might be off the wall with this theory. People might think, hey, this guy's a nut job or something, But yeah. So it's good. Oh, and by the way, I like I saw the cemetery video you did.
Oh yeah.
The paranormal one. I loved it.
Very haunted, and that's why I posted it on there. I went to this place, and it's a haunted World War II veteran cemetery. So it was a fun experience. I'll say that.
I loved it. I wish I could do something like that. I need to bring someone with me because I'd be a little afraid, So I would say, hey,
yeah.
I would love to do something like that. There's a lot of old stuff here in Jersey too that you can go to and stuff here, but
but
just don't have the time,
There's a lot of places out in every state.
I love all that stuff, the Ghost Adventures and all that. I love.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, speaking of Ghost Adventures, Gary Galka gave his opinion on the session I did.
Saw that.
And
I saw that.
Bro, he told he told me to send me the link, or for me to send him the link to that live stream I did. And that dude, he was like, you got a gift. He said, you got a gift. And I was like, wow, for somebody at his professional level to come down and tell me, hey, and this guy invents all the equipment. He works with Zach Baggins very close. And for him to drop down and give me a professional nod to say, this is crazy. I cannot believe you're getting these type of responses from your home. Like, you were getting these type of responses from your home. This is crazy. Like, he was pretty mind blown about it. So it was cool to get that validation.
Oh, I thought it was great. I hope you do more of them down the road, And another thing too, the paranormal channel, maybe one night you should open up to
phone
ghost
calls.
Stories. People call in with some ghost stories or something,
Yeah, I'm down with that. But the thing about when you go to the side and you do things, it sucks energy out of you, and it could be, you got to be careful when you do it. People don't understand how dangerous it really is. It's actually it's very dangerous.
Yeah, the one thing I will never touch is a Ouija board. I'll never touch one again. Never. When I was a little kid, with me and my brother, I had a bad experience with one of those things. I've never touched one of those again. Creep me out.
You don't want to do that, but definitely, man, Chris, I can't wait to hear from you again. I appreciate you calling in. I'm glad to hear that you've been doing hopefully fine, and prayers to you and your family, brother. Lock your door, stay safe, and if you think of anything else, you're more than welcome to call back as usual.
You as well, brother. Keep your head up. Keep trucking along. Look forward to seeing you again.
God bless you. God bless you, Chris. Miss you, brother.
Miss you too. Take
Later,
care.
brother. Shout out to Chris, man. Miss that guy. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Chris. All right, so hold up. Let's get back. Let me go ahead and put that down for 1 second. I want to jump into this part because some people may not. Some people don't even know about the article that came out.
Of a November quadruple murder. Walder told News Nation that the killer could have left Mortensen and another roommate alive because of the amount of
985,
energy
96, 93
expended
phone
in
numbers at the
fatally
top.
stabbing 4 people. When you stab 4 people, that takes a lot of energy and a lot of exertion, Walder said, adding that she thought fatigue played a role in the attacker's departure from the house. One of the surviving roommates of the 4 slain University of Idaho students never witnessed the gruesome aftermath of the killings.
509, what's on your mind?
Hey, it's Melissa.
Melissa, what's going on?
Nada, how about you?
You know, hanging in there. Dude, been very busy lately, working on a lot of these little documentaries and visions I got going on. But back on
I
live.
saw that. It's been looking pretty good.
Yeah, that's why I said hit me up with your friend on. I know you sent me a lot of articles, but I'd like to get like a, maybe like a side call or some type of interview with you separately off for that particular video.
Yeah. That I texted you, so whenever it comes through, you have a way to get a hold of me and all that.
It's a very sad. That's a very sad story.
Yeah, it really is, and like right now he's in jail for attacking that other woman, and that there's no one else and no other leads that tie, but him, and nothing has been done about it. And then the other girl that also is blonde like Caleb is suspected that he took care of her too. So
yeah, that's crazy. Sure. How you been?
I've been good. Been busy myself, and enjoying the southern weather for once, and no snow, because I'm used to being in the Pacific Northwest. So I actually used to live in Idaho, about an hour from Moscow myself. So,
oh wow. Oh.
Yeah. So I'm very familiar with the area. Not sure if you saw that interview episode where Steve and Christy were talking about going to Priest Lake. I actually lived at Priest Lake. So.
Now, what's this? You ever been to that Snake River that people talk about?
I've driven by it, but I haven't been to it, but I know of it.
People. Yesterday there was a good theory. A lot of people think that the weapon is in Snake River. I don't know if you heard yesterday. Like a guy called in a very good theory too. He mentioned the Snake River, and I was like, man, I wonder if the police ever checked this Snake River, and why is the Snake River talked about so much? Is it because it's close to there, or?
It's I think of like a scenic vantage point. It's a deep river valley canal, so it's almost like how the Mississippi at some point feeds into the ocean. It's kind of like that deep river valley. So it's always constant moving waters, and it's not something that could be easily suspect pulling something out. You can't just track something. It'd be moved along in the current before you would even have a chance to find anything.
Snake River is somebody said the Snake River is huge and dangerous.
It is dangerous. Is it
like currents or what?
Yeah, it's currents, and it's rapids. It's constant moving, flowing water. Like if someone dropped something in there, the water would push them along before you would even have a chance to find it if you did.
Wow, that's crazy as hell. So I don't even you don't even think they could dive that?
Oh hell no.
They would need some shit to dive that.
Yeah, the one thing about the Pacific Northwest is that there was a great huge flood. So think of Ice Age, and there was a huge flood, and the Snake River is kind of part of that. If you look up the Great Flood in the Pacific Northwest, you'll kind of see how the water changed the plains and where the water ended up and the power of the different currents of the water. I highly suggest looking it up.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm about to. There's probably videos of this Snake River too, and I guarantee it. I guarantee I could find a video from it. I don't even know why I didn't think of that.
Yeah, there's videos and stuff about the Great Flood too, and the Snake River is pretty wild. It is pretty wild. That's why I said, like, if you think like Arizona, like scenic vantage points, like valleys and gullies and stuff like that, it's like that with wild, crazy water.
Oh
I'll
my
find
God,
it.
right here. Snake River amongst the most endangered rivers in the U.S. Here's a video
Exactly.
right
That's
here.
why I said if you think valleys and it's constant moving water, like if someone threw something in there, you ain't gonna find it.
I just put it up on the screen right now. This is Snake River right here. Whoa, this is woo.
Yeah, you're not gonna find it.
Whoa. Damn, they got some big fish in there too.
Oh yeah, big time.
Arlene, nice to see you, Arlene. What's up with the youth with that? Oh, I have no idea about how Idaho is corrupt. I used to I have no idea. You know, people have their own opinions and thoughts and theories and breakdowns on that, Carolina. I really, I don't
The way I
understand.
see it is it's everyone has its pros and cons no matter where you go. Just like the presidency, everyone has their good things and bad things, and
Mhm.
corruptiveness is everywhere. It's not just in one place significantly. However, there's quite a bit of things that's corrupt in Idaho. It's kind of like Ritzville and Centralia. It's a goody boys town, and there's a lot of high paying pockets in there that kind
So
of makes things disappear. So
when I think about this Snake River and people talk about say, how do I say this? All right, so from the Moscow home, right? How far is Snake River from the Moscow home in a vehicle? Say Brian Kohberger allegedly or whoever comes out and they're going to the Snake River to get rid of whatever, right? How far of a drive would it be from there? Does anybody know in chat, or do you know, Melissa?
I couldn't tell you because it's been a minute. Here, I'll look it up for you.
Wild water raft. Yeah, I'm curious.
I've gone whitewater rafting, but you don't want to do that there.
It looks, because the waters do look pretty wild.
It is pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy. I think it's 45 minutes to an hour, I think.
So that's really enough time to go and throw something in there.
No, it's longer than that. Snake River, it says it's 208 miles. So, like I said, it's been a minute since I drove through there, and so
208 miles from the Moscow.
Yeah, it says Snake River. If you go to Google, type in Snake River and then Moscow, it says 5 hours, 9 minutes, 208.1 miles. So that'd be a lot further than.
Wow. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's.
But then again, I drove all the time in my car. Like I put 45,000 miles on it in under 6 months. So time's irrelevant to me most of the time.
That was crazy. Definitely. And I'm gonna hit you up. Did you inbox me? Where you said? Was it email or?
No, I texted you.
Okay. So you texted me.
And if you have this number, that's a good way too.
I need to. Yeah.
I got a hold of her mom too the other day, and I said, "Hey, is there any updates and what have you?" And she said that supposedly they're going to be trying to take him to court this coming next year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know any further details than that. So.
Well, I definitely got it. All right, I see your number. I had to take it. Make sure I saved it right there. I got it saved right there. Well, Melissa, I appreciate you calling in, and I'm definitely going to be hitting you up because that story that you sent to me about your friend is absolutely heartbreaking and is one that should be out there for people to see. And
yeah, it was only broadcasted on KHQ like twice, and that was 3 years apart.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to narrate my own version of a story for her and put it out for everybody to see. So, if anybody knows any information, maybe they come across it, and maybe somebody does know something, maybe they don't. You never know. But hey, I know that I'll do my part and share it with everybody here.
I appreciate it. I really do. I really appreciate it.
Like I said, we went through it in Discord back 3 or 4 months ago, and it's a very heartbreaking story, Melissa.
Yeah, there's many different stories and things, that don't get as much limelight as they should. But I feel sorry for the two young boys that found her, because the two boys that found her were like 10 and 11. And, if you remember, someone beheaded her and placed her in 3 different bags. And so for 2 young boys to find her, I can't even imagine how they feel.
Yeah, I can't imagine that either. Well, Melissa, I'll hit you up here shortly and talk to you. Thank you for calling in. God bless you. Lock your doors. Stay safe. I hope your family's been well, and I hope to hear from you again soon.
All right. Thank you. You have a good one.
You too, Melissa. Shout out to Melissa French. I appreciate her. And her friend's story is super sad. Very. This is Snake River, though. So would he drive all the way to Snake River? I don't know. That's just my question.
According to a new report, the students were slain on the 2nd and 3rd floors of the house, but Funka was staying in the basement.
It said Funka. That was another thing that pissed me off. Funka. It's Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen.
The night of the killings. Mortensen, however, stayed in a bedroom on the 2nd floor. She told investigators that she saw...
By the way, if you do want to call in, it's 219-885-9693. What's your thoughts, your theories? 5 minutes. Everybody gets 5 minutes with a 15-second to 30-second grace period.
Masked man in the home around the time they believe the killings occurred, according to a probable cause affidavit that was unsealed in January. The affidavit detailed the chilling encounter, noting that Mortensen said she had opened her door after she heard crying and saw a man with bushy eyebrows and dressed in black, with a mask over his nose and mouth, walking toward her. She froze, the affidavit.
So hold up, let me see this mask again.
Dressed in black, with a mask over his nose and mouth.
Hold on, let me remove that at the top so you guys can see that visualer of what it would kind of look like. Is this the shot that she got?
It detailed the chilling encounter, noting that Mortensen said she had opened her door after she heard crying.
Okay, so I'm looking at this visualer right here of what I could see eyebrow wise. Damn, you'd have to have some big ass eyebrows for somebody to notice some of this color.
And saw a man with bushy
that was a better
eyebrows
shot.
And dressed in black, with a mask over his nose and mouth, walking toward.
To be honest with you, I'll give you my personal opinion. I really think that Dylan Mortensen picked him out of a photo lineup, allegedly. I think that Dylan Mortensen picked Brian Kohberger out of a photo lineup that was brought to her, and that's why they moved in possibly on the arrest. And that's why there's something part of the gag. I don't know. I feel like she might have picked them out of order. I could be wrong. I'm only speculating when I say that. Remember, I'm speculating. If you haven't heard it from law enforcement, it's not true. But did Dylan Mortensen pick Brian Christopher Kohberger out of a photo lineup?
Toward her.
I want to know.
She froze, the affidavit said, and the man walked to a sliding glass door. She then locked herself in her room.
Diane said the Snake River is only 32 miles south of Moscow. He did go that way according to cell phone towers. That's interesting. G of Twins, I bet they are keeping a bunch of evidence quiet until trial. I am thinking someone in the circle was an informant. It's very possible.
Creaky house. You can't walk up any of the stairs or on any of the floors without everybody in the house knowing it.
Cole Alternator says the building doesn't offer much privacy and was well known to students.
A breakthrough in the case came later in November after the Moscow Police Department asked regional law enforcement to look for a white Hyundai Elantra. On November 29th, a WSU police officer found a 2015 white Elantra registered to Kohberger after running a query for Elantra on campus. The same day, another campus officer located the vehicle parked at Kohberger's apartment complex, and a check came back showing it had Washington state tags. Corporal Brett Payne, the lead investigator on the case, wrote in the affidavit that this led him to look at Kohberger's driver's license, which described him as 6 feet tall and 185 pounds, and that his license photo showed him with bushy eyebrows. These details were consistent with a description given by Mortensen. A preliminary hearing. In the case is scheduled for June 26th. Arrest. Kohberger was arrested on 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 felony count of burglary, was appointed a public defender, and was detained without bond at the Monroe County Correctional Facility in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. On his return to the county courthouse on January 3rd, 2023, he agreed to extradition.
We all watched that. I remember watching that right after. We sat around like friggin' vultures waiting to see this footage.
On January 4th, he was flown to Pullman, driven...
Yes, Butterfly. This is one of the newer documentaries that me and my team put together, but I don't like the fact that the narrator had got victims' names wrong, like I said, so that's why I'm narrating the rest of them from here on
to
out.
the Lata County Jail in Moscow and held...
For instance, Lata. The Lata, it's Lata.
Without bail. Kohberger made his first appearance in the Lata County Courthouse on January 5th and was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary for breaking into a home with the intent
what we talk
to
about,
commit
Leslie?
a
What's going
felony.
on? What's going on in the true crime time world? What's going on? What am I missing on? Sad to say there are 1 confirmed dead and more they didn't say. What kind of breaking news we got going on?
1 week later, on January 12th, Kohberger made his second appearance for a status conference in the same room at the courthouse.
What did Dylan Mortensen said about the suspect and the killer, the real aspect? I remember watching that 12-hour flight path. Oh yeah, I do remember. We did watch that. Remember, I was like, nah, I don't want to watch that. And then I ended up watching it anyways.
Dylan Mortensen, one of the 2 survivors, identified as DM in court records, was the only roommate who saw the suspect. The newly released court documents also revealed that the survivor told investigators that she saw the masked killer leaving the home and overheard him telling his victims, "I'm going to help you," before stabbing them to death. She reportedly said that she saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. As she stood...
All right, honest opinion, and I'm asking chat for...
and nose.
You see this part right here, right? You open your door. Let's say he just had it. Let's say he didn't have that top part, which I don't think he did. Right? Wasn't it Matt? Say he had this part right here. Let me show you with the mouse. From here down. Could you make, and be honest with me, could you make a positive identification on someone if you've seen someone, their hair, everything up top, but they had their face covered from here and down? Would you be able to make a positive identification? I'm just curious. Could you make a positive identification if you've seen a man in your house with his nose covered, but not the top, hair, and you get what I'm saying? That's why I think Dylan picked him out of a photo lineup. That's why I think that. I think she's seen the nose, the eyes, the hair, allegedly.
Nose walking towards her. As she stood in a frozen shock phase, she said that the man had bushy eyebrows and walked past her and towards the backsliding glass door of the home. She said that she then locked herself in her room.
You know what? I need to make a poll. I'll make a poll on that.
On May 17th, 2023, the Lata County District Court announced that Kohberger was indicted by a grand jury on 5 charges, 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary. A preliminary probable cause hearing scheduled for June 26th was canceled after the indictment. In May 2023, Kohberger refused to enter a plea during his arraignment. His attorney said that he was standing silent on the charges. The judge entered a not guilty plea for him. On June 26th, the Lata County Prosecutor's Office announced they were seeking the death penalty given the statutory aggravating circumstances of the first-degree murder charges. Kohberger is being held in the Lata County Jail and has been denied bond. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Roommate of Idaho, murders victims, seen dancing and partying with friends while family claims she suffers from survivor guilt. She has adopted a reclusive lifestyle and is spending her time at home playing video games, her father shared. However, recently surfaced photos show her at a sorority initiation on September 15th, alongside her University of Idaho friends. She was also seen at a Halloween party on October 31st, dressed in a gold sparkly outfit, which contradicts her parents' version. In the first video, Mortensen is seen attending a sorority initiation, while in the second video, she is seen dancing and making merry at a Halloween party. Mortensen reported seeing a man leaving the house in Moscow, Idaho during that time, but only realized hours later that her 4 roommates had been murdered. Patricia Monroe, while speaking to the New York Post, mentioned that she has remained close to the family and indicated that Mortensen is doing okay. Monroe, 53, said, "There's a lot of guilt because, if someone says, oh, well, Dylan was so lucky, you don't want to take on that luck because all of the children deserved luck. They all deserve to be spared from that."
So late.
Mortensen told police that she stood in a frozen shock phase as a person dressed in black clothing and a mask approached her, then walked toward the back sliding glass door and exited the house. Afterward, she locked herself in her room and did not come out until the following morning, which has given rise to online trolls attacking Mortensen and Funka and claiming they were involved in the murders. Thank you for watching the video.
Said Funka. Man, you said, man, YouTube needs to get a grip on the poll boxes not showing anything. Appreciate it, Lo. Appreciate it. What option is yes? It's the top one. The second one's no. And then the bottom one is 50-50 depending on lighting. So is it 50-50 depending on lighting? Now let's go over the next one. Let's go ahead and get into this. 352, what's going on? You're live. Can you hear me?
T-REV.
Yes, ma'am. What's going on? You were live.
Something's bothering me.
What's going on?
Remember the tape of the white car behind the house? Now, if you look, you're in front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little side street. You don't have to go straight up to go to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's easy to get to the glass doors from there than that other parking lot. Because Nancy Grace went behind there, remember? And she said you could see everything in the bedroom. And a few other detectives.
Yeah.
So, am I wrong? Is it that little street or straight up?
Is what the little street?
Next to the house. The short right.
Okay, so the specific footage that you're talking about.
Yes.
Which one? Which direct? Because there's a few. So, are you talking about the clip where the guy was standing out front? Are you talking about which clip are you talking about again?
I'm talking about the one where you went to the back of the house.
Uh-huh.
And remember that the tires were screeching and that leaving the crime, in other words.
Oh, you're talking about Linda Lane footage. Okay.
4 o'clock.
Linda Lane footage, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so the Linda Lane footage, I'm pretty sure shows what, 5 passes?
Yes.
But my thing about the 5 passes is we never found. I mean, I personally do think that footage is legit. I think it is. I think it's legit, but are they using it is the real question.
Yeah, because it's bothering me why they didn't go up the little street where the tape was all around the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't mention another creator, like you said. He was speaking to one of the neighbors, and they all left for vacation because this was near Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know if they had cameras for back there because it was very easy because he almost made it through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know why that street's bothering me.
You know, honestly, I've never even seen that footage even be verified either. But like I said, I still think.
No, that's what I'm saying. I remember him driving up there because he was trying to show you the way to go up. But the short right street, it was.
I think you got an echo too.
Yeah, I do, and I got it off. I don't know why.
It's okay.
I'm always echoing.
She said I'm always echoing. I've talked to you before. Thank you, AJ.
Oh, yes, we have.
Multiple times.
Yes. It's over a year now, too. The first time I spoke with you.
Yeah, I remember. I remember your voice very well.
I'm proud of you. Just keep with the story. And
Yes,
speak from
ma'am.
your heart.
Yes,
because
ma'am.
you got a lot going for you.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Okay? Remember who I am.
Yes, ma'am.
You wants to speak to me about. Oh, I forgot now. Oh, forget it. I forgot everything. I'll let somebody else speak.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. I appreciate
Keep it going,
you.
honey. Keep it going.
Absolutely. You think of anything else, you call back.
Okay, thank you.
Lock your doors. God bless you, and you have a wonderful holidays. But I know I'll talk to you before, but still.
Okay.
God bless you.
Bye. You.
Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
In the small town of Moscow, Idaho, where the air carries whispers of the surrounding wilderness, a chilling tale begins.
Whoa. Whoa. 317 sent from heaven. What's going on? You live?
Hi, T-REV. It's Ray.
What's going on, Ray? How you doing?
So glad that you are back.
Thank you.
And I'm glad Sosa's doing well.
Yeah, Sosa's
doing
very well.
I'm a huge animal lover.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
I can tell. So the thing that's bothered me about this case,
Mm-hmm.
the FBI has said that they had nothing to do with Hancock County pulling him over twice. I could see that because I've lived close to that area, and we referred to Hancock County as Handcuff County.
Mm-hmm.
They will pull anybody and everybody over for anything they can. That's all I wanted to say, because there's a lot of people out there that say, oh, the FBI had to have known that he got pulled over twice. It's possible they could have, but them saying that they didn't, I kind of believe that because of where it happened in Indiana. I-70 Hancock County, yeah, you're following too close, you're speeding, you do anything, they're going to pull you over.
You too, Brooke. Thank you. So you're saying out there they're just what, getting their quota up or what?
That's just the way they are out there. I don't know what it is about that county, but I had to drive into it one time, and I lived in Shelby County, which neighbors that county. And my roommate was like, remember, that's Handcuff County. They will pull you over for anything. And I know several people that have been pulled over, arrested for various things, DUI, possession of marijuana, whatever. But they generally get pulled over from a traffic violation.
Wow. So they're just, like you said, meeting their quota.
I think they go beyond their quota.
Oh.
So, yeah. That's all I had to say.
She said they go beyond.
They do.
Carolina said, wow. Police not narcissist, ego-driven, in my opinion, on way. Excuse me. Police, not all, most narcissist, ego-driven, in my opinion. Yeah, that's what Gypsy says. So Gypsy said, not the police, not all, most narcissist, ego-driven.
They are. I live in Boone County, Indiana, and the sheriff that used to be here, I had it out with him over the phone one day because of some funny business that went on here involving me, and I ended up with a charge that I should have not gotten charged with. Ended up getting out of it by, you know what, paying money. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Indiana, and the whole Delphi thing, don't even get me started. I have so many opinions about that, but we're not talking about that. So.
Yeah. Oh, we will. It's,
Well, I
the
hope
time's
so,
coming.
because I have so much to say about that T-REV.
The time's coming. We will be having a live about that. That's for damn
I
sure.
mean, if people think that Odinism and all that is like so far-fetched, I could believe it. I mean, I myself, and I just had
In fact, I'm gonna go one above. We're gonna be watching that trial live if it's not at the same time as Idaho.
Right.
I will watch that trial, and I won't miss one bit of it because I followed Delphi from day one.
I told my father when I was 15 years old that I got shot at by what, we consider devil worshippers. Whatever kind of cult or whatever they had going on, that's what, growing up in Indiana as a Christian, anybody that was outside of Christianity, we called them devil worshippers.
Mm-hmm.
So I myself was a stupid teenager out where they were being where we shouldn't have been and got shot at.
That's crazy.
With guns from them. So I don't, I mean, it's to the point that was here in Boone County too, where I live. They flattened the whole entire woods, took the bridge out. It was called Witch's Bridge. There was a radio station, Q95. Bob and Tom used to go out there every Halloween and have a big, Halloween thing at Witch's Bridge. But yeah, they totally demolished the bridge, the woods, everything to get rid of them and built a neighborhood there now.
That's crazy.
Indiana's crazy. And in my opinion, the so-called superintendent, Doug Carter, he needs to go.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Doug Carter. I know of him. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you. God bless you. It's nice to hear from you. And I hope to hear from you again.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've talked before, T-REV. I'm Ray Grinstead. I love you, man.
I know your voice. Voice. Thank you, Ray. I do see you in comments too. Thank you so much. God bless you and your family. Lock your doors. Stay safe. And hopefully I hear from you again, Ray.
Oh, you will.
Thank you. Shout out to Ray. God bless her. All right, so I seen this. Arlene said, "Hey T-REV, my gorgeous son, I've missed you so much, but you have made my week. Proud of you. Where is my Kylie Thunder?" Well, Kylie, I don't know. She has some family stuff going on, and I'll leave it at that. I wish Kylie the best and love Mama Kylie to death. So my prayers are for Mama Kylie, and I hope that what she's going through is okay and that she can get past it. God bless her. I will say that. But yes, she's been going through some family stuff, and I'll leave it at that. You should make more of a song of your beat. Yeah. No, that's easy. That's light. I already have, actually. I just haven't recorded it. Good to see you, Trev. I hope all is well. What's going on, baller? I appreciate you, man. Let's go over this.
A tale wrapped in the dense cell phone configurations of the region. Our story revolves around a man named Brian Kohberger, accused of a crime that has etched a harrowing mark on the tight-knit community.
Hey, what's up, Dave? You live?
Hey, what's up, man? Is this T-REV?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Not much, man. I found you today. I watched your live earlier this afternoon and been watching
Let's go over
one. And the thing that strikes me kind of weird about all this is that I live in a college town, and I've worked with probably at least 10 Sigma Chi members. And, the one thing that every single one of them I feel like has asked me is, if you were going to kill somebody, how would you get away with it?
In a surprising twist, information surfaces that challenges the narrative.
Another narrator.
I debunked a crucial element of the case.
We even talked about it on our channel, the speculation that's been going on for 2 months that a podcaster named T-REV received a call from somebody that, and then it circulated the web far and wide within the true crime community that this person was likely Bryan Kohberger. After Bryan Kohberger was arrested, friends of Bryan Kohberger came forward and said, "This sounds like Bryan Kohberger."
That's why I want to go over it, because it's the controversy. You guys want to email me and have long conversations about it. Why not talk about it live? Why not talk about it live, right? So if you were here with me, you've seen that we went through the 80,000 phone calls. You've seen that we went above and beyond to get this phone number. I got the phone number. I called that phone number live. We heard the voicemail live. Now, I passed this phone number on again. I spoke about this yesterday, but again, I need to speak about it again. It's being spoken about more and more and more. And people really do think that this is Bryan Kohberger, even with the alleged, being debunked, with it being debunked allegedly. And I do lean towards it not being him, just for the simple fact that Hidden True Crime had got it. But there's one thing that I didn't like about the situation at the time, is because I didn't get to go on that live and talk to this guy and say, hey, I didn't make this go viral. People pulled this up. Danny Van Sickle was in my live at the time, right? And Danny Van Sickle reminded me of this call. This call wasn't even out there. It wasn't even being looked at. People were starting to forget about it, but Danny Van Sickle remembered it, not called me, but put something in the chat. I read it. I went and pulled it up. Again, it was Twitter users and TikTok users made it go viral. And then all of a sudden, his friend from, what was it, high school or, growing up, Casey Arntz, had said that sounded exactly like Bryan Kohberger on the phone, allegedly. That's why all the news stations in the United States were reaching out to me. It wasn't just for the fact that call had went viral off of people sharing it. It was because a friend came forward and said, that was him. I don't know. That's where the weirdness is to me. A friend that, grew up with him is saying it's him. That part messes with me still. That's the part that gets to me.
Kohberger voice analysis, you can find plenty of them all over excuse me, the YouTube and the web. It's made national news. People wondering if indeed this could possibly be Bryan Kohberger.
That's what I was saying.
Into T-REV's channel. Dr. John and I even discussed this.
I see. And another thing that I do want to address is people say that I set up this phone call. I created this phone call and had somebody call in and do these antics. That's what it would be if it was a fake phone call. It'd be antics. It'd be a fucking complete WWF act, right? It would be some wrestling crap if I had somebody call in and pretend to be somebody, right? I mean, you got to also look at it. The date that phone call happened was December 15th, and that live stream is still up. I went live just like I am now and had people call in like I do now. There's no difference in anything that I do. I don't plan who calls in. I don't plan none of that. People just pick up the phone, they dial the number, and they call in.
What it would mean if it was indeed Bryan Kohberger, and we weren't able to
I do have
confirm
it.
it.
1985. If you do want to call in, as I take phone calls and talk to you guys, I'll keep bouncing back and forth and talking about this, because this is a hot topic and a lot of you have questions about it.
We discussed it on Friday. We had to say we are not sure, but we want to talk about this and what it means.
If you were going to kill somebody, how would you get away with it?
Hi, my name is Brian. Would you be able to...
$337 sent from heaven. What's going on? You're live.
Hey, what up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Hey, this is Blue Elvis, man.
What's going on, Blue?
I was in the room that night of that call, bro.
Oh yeah, damn.
And just the way things responded that night and the way you handled it were excellent, man.
I
just wanted to
appreciate
say
it. I appreciate it. I did mess up on, he did say 10 and I ended up saying 5 or whatever, but and also at that time I didn't understand that Sigma Chi's were all over the nation too. So there was a few things that I didn't know because in general I never went to college. Right?
I felt it was him, man. And the way he juxtapositioned those questions around Freeman and around other people and the way the call paused, it just felt like him, man,
A lot of people think it still is him, and I can't change people's minds or tell them to think how I'm thinking because I want to believe that Hidden True Crime did really debunk that, but there's people that really think the opposite.
But the way you handled it, man, because you could have easily been tripping out, and if you remember, the chat was like, "Oh my God, that's him!" Like what?
Everybody, And in the chat, honestly, so December 15th, when this phone call came through on the live, it was either December 13th or the 15th. It's between those 2 dates. When I was live at that time and this person had called in, it was weird that night. We talked about it a little bit, but then we forgot about it after that and kept moving on. As Brian Kohberger was arrested, Danny Van Sickle, a mod of mine at the time, had literally reminded me of that. So that's why I pulled it up the day that Brian Kohberger got arrested. And that's when the, people who were in my live, which was like 5,000 people at the time, recorded my phone call, took it to Twitter and made it super viral. I looked at one point, it was like 12 million views from TikTok to Twitter added together. So it was all over the place.
Man, just being a musician and a sound recorder and I went to school for psychology. I didn't finish, but I felt at the time in my heart that it just sounded so different, man. His inquiry, the way he was talking, the way he was speaking, it didn't sound like just some random call coming into your line, bro.
People are also saying that it matches up with his questionnaire, and that's another argument that people are bringing up. It's like, wow, it's very eerie and similar to the questionnaire that he had on Reddit.
But anyway, dog, I just want to tell you I appreciate you, man. You got me through a hard time last year watching your stuff, and you were always on point and always friendly to everybody, and you let everybody talk. I never called in, man, but I appreciate you, dude, what you do.
Thank you, brother. I really do appreciate the kind words, man. And I'm glad that I was able to help you through a time.
This is G, Blue Elvis from Louisiana. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, brother. God bless you. I hope you have a beautiful holiday and hopefully hear from you again too, my brother. Keep up the great work, whatever you got going on in life, and I wish you the best.
I'm a guitar player, man. Thank you, Rev. Appreciate
no
you,
doubt,
man.
brother. String that shit. Hit me up. Maybe we'll do something.
All right, later. Peace.
All right, later, brother. Great phone call. See, a lot of people were here during that time. If you were here during that call, like actually in that live stream, then you're a rare person to be in there because it's wild.
Give me a haircut tomorrow by any chance?
Despite this attempt at debunking, the shadow of doubt still looms, with some people believing that the person on the show might indeed be the killer.
Within hours of Kohberger's arrest, a YouTube clip from a crime podcast emerged, immediately went viral. Okay, the users of the podcast were saying, "Hey, this is Brian Kohberger."
I did, June. I got no response. I did 2 or 3 times, 0 response. He actually has my personal phone number too, so 0 response. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's okay. I don't know if he's not. But it'd be great to know if he was breathing at least, right?
I didn't believe it until we interviewed someone who knew Brian Kohberger in high school. She heard the clip and said that is definitely his voice. Now, is she a certified expert? No, but it made me take another look. Take a listen for yourself.
Again, did you hear what he said?
High school, believe it, until the user.
Again, he said he didn't believe it until Casey had came forward and said that was him. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how could people not understand how I could sway towards it being Brian Kohberger that called into the show with one of his best friends from high school saying that it was him 100%. It sounded like him 100%, allegedly. How the hell could I not start to think? Right? Like, how the hell could I not start to think? But at this point, I don't now. I'm saying that's why I thought.
Some people of the podcast were saying, hey, this is Brian Kohberger. I didn't believe it.
Here. 757 sent from heaven. What's going on? You're live.
Hey, Travis, Donna.
What's going on, Donna?
Not a whole lot. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. What's the word for today? What's going on? Talk to us.
Well, I'm gonna play devil advocate for just on two things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, going back to this phone call, I was there that night that all that occurred, and every night before that, and after. But you know, at one point I thought he could very well have had 10 people ask him that question. And bear with me a second. Mm-hmm. You know, I have friends that are dispatchers. I have friends that are, you know, I used to work for a doctor who was a medical examiner. And people tend to ask these questions like, is there a way to get away with perfect murder? How would you get away with a perfect murder? Especially if they know you're in that field, that you're learning that kind of stuff. Exactly. Do you really believe there's a way? Do you really believe that, you know, this can happen or that could happen? So there was one point, and maybe a minute point for me that could still be the case. What got me was a guy named David. Was that his name?
Yes.
That came on and said that was him talking.
Yes.
I couldn't connect the two. I could not connect the two. Vocally, the verbiage, everything. I couldn't connect him to that phone call, period, at all. You know, he said it was him. I don't know how they figured that out, but to be honest with you, it didn't even sound like the same person.
They did hit me up to go on to the show, but
I
was sleeping because we were live for that day
prior,
right. And they are on a whole different time. Like they're in a different time zone. And I had already been live for 10 hours, I believe, and then went to bed. So when she had hit me up, I was sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of wish they would have rescheduled instead of just rushing into it and doing it because I wanted to really be there.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Just to tell this guy, hey, look, like people put this out as you being Brian Kohberger. So if it wasn't you could have called in. I was on my show telling you to call in and just say, hey, that was me. And we can take all that shit down and get rid of it.
I think if you were part of that phone call, you would have asked specific questions that only you would know and the caller would have known. You know, I mean, even though the call was out there, but I'm saying the moment, how the conversation took place and how you felt about it, you know, it just, to me, it just seemed like it was two different people. And I don't buy that. I still don't buy it. Now I want to just jump over to Dylan real quick. Everybody's talking about Dylan, you know, could you when you're saying, could you look at someone's, you know, who had a mask on and that's all you could see was that part of their face? You know, they don't call the eyes the mirror of the soul for no reason. People have distinctive eyes, period. I mean, sure, you have to really get a good look. I mean, she would have had to really get a good look face to face with this person. But from what they're saying and the way they've worded it, she didn't. She saw him coming towards her, but to get eye-to-eye contact, he would have seen her. Right. So what she's basing her her description is a side view, glance. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we don't know if he had a head cover. We don't know if it was just nose down that he was covered. So that's kind of up in the air when it comes to, you know, identifying him. But to me, if I were to see somebody eye to eye and they were masked, except for that part of their face, I feel like if I were to see them again, without the mask. I think I would be able to identify the eyes of that person. And when I look at Brian Kohberger, if you get a chance, bring up Ted Bundy and a picture of Brian Kohberger.
Oh, we've
And
done that. We've done that.
I was telling you, right, but I'm telling you, people haven't been in there. I told a friend of mine, I said, don't look at the faces and the hair and all that crap. Look at the eyes. They are identical. They are identical. The type of, people that have psychosis and sociopathic kind of stuff, they tend to have weird shit going on with their eyes. And so that's kind of where I'm going with that as far as Dylan. I don't think she saw it with they're trying to make it seem like she saw. And at the same time, I don't think that this shock phase or whatever they call it, that's not her words. I put that in the chat. That's not her words. Somebody put that in her head. No, not in her head, but someone gave that to the press. Whether it be a psychologist or a therapist or somebody that was at the hospital or whatever. Somebody had a little press conference and that's the words they used. Because at 20 years old, would you have thought to say that? Oh, I was, it freaked me out so much. I was in a shock phase state or whatever.
Hell no. I wouldn't
I
even
didn't
say
even know. I wouldn't even know what the hell that meant at 20 years old.
But I mean, these are young, intelligent, women that are in college and you know what I mean? Like these aren't stupid people by any means.
No, but as a person who
I'm not, but I do believe what you just said. I don't think that officer, I was in a frozen shock phase. I just don't think
exactly.
I don't think that.
No.
But that's besides the point. I think that they took that and just wrote it and made it and took her statement and put it into something that was presentable and to what she was saying.
But I think it's done her damage. I think it's done her damage in the long run. Because that is what they're basing all their stuff on, is what hearing that particular phrase.
Bing bang.
So I'll let you go. I heard my buzzer go off.
Thank you, Donna. I appreciate you calling in. It's like I said, that's I don't know. I feel like if depending on lighting, etc. So I don't know what I mean. Well, obviously we know how Dylan's seen him, but we don't know the lighting situation. But personally, I feel for some reason that he was identified through a photo lineup. And I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm speculating, and that's why I'm saying I'm speculating. But
hey, they do frontal and they do side view. If she saw him side view, she may be able to identify him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's a fact.
But anyway, Rev Gang, I love you, all of you.
We love you too, Donna.
You guys have a good night.
We love you too, Donna. Thank you so much. I appreciate you calling in. Lock your door. Stay safe and stay healing up.
Yes, brother. I'm doing it.
God bless you.
You too.
We love you. Shout out to Donna. Prayers for Donna on healing up. She just got surgery on her leg not too long ago, or knee. So prayers for healthy healing on that. So what's going on, Hash? Shout out to Hash. But yeah, we're going over this. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Until we interviewed someone who knew Brian Kohberger in high school. She heard the clip and said that is definitely his voice. Now, is she a certified expert?
See what I'm saying? That's definitely his voice. So when I seen that myself, that was definitely his voice by a friend of somebody who knew him. It's like, how could somebody be mad at someone for even saying, damn, that's his friend? She's saying that's him. Now he believes. Yeah. I mean, I was starting to believe that it could possibly be him at that time, especially with her making that TikTok video that she made.
No, but it made me take another look. Take a listen for yourself.
One thing that every single one of them I feel like has asked me is, if you were going to kill somebody, how would you get away with it?
Now, again, it's him talking about the murders as removed from them. The host of that podcast initially was unsure as well whether it was Brian. Now believes it was.
Yeah, by the way, 219-885-9693 phone calls haven't stopped.
Was likely him. He goes by T-REV, so we'll call him that as well. And he joins us now. Thank you very much for coming with your splendid YOLO hat on. You only live once. Good choice. So, Brian Kohberger, you believe he called into the podcast? Why?
I mean, with friends reaching out and saying, or people like her that spoke out that said that it's, that's him 100%. I mean, without me hearing his voice, I'm like, it's unconfirmed. But if you got friends that knew him and grew up with him saying it's confirmed, then I gotta say, hey, yeah, this is probably Brian Kohberger. But I did send it into the FBI. I did clip that. I also went through 80,000 phone calls, found the number, sent it into the FBI as well, and they have that, and hopefully they get down to that information.
Good. Do you know that they are in receipt of it? Did they come back to you at all?
I know they have it. I've never got an email back yet.
All right. Well, good. You did what you're supposed to do. Now, what struck you about the kinds of comments that this man made to you on the podcast?
Oh, man. Why would 10 people come up and ask you how to get away with murder? I mean, make that make sense to me. Why would 10 human beings like ourselves come up and say, hey, how would I get away with murder? And that's nobody's going to do that. And realistically in life, who is coming up to me or you or anybody that is around us right now and asking us, hey, do you know how to get away with murder?
Brian Kohberger, a seemingly ordinary man, now stands accused, sending shockwaves through Moscow. But as our narrative unfolds, we find the defense challenging a fundamental aspect: the precision of cell phone tracking in this sparsely populated area.
Police department, show yourself.
Thank you, Justin.
We have a search warrant for the building. Police department, show yourself.
He said, "You're good, dude. Go back inside."
Flashlights.
If you were gonna kill somebody, how would you get away with that?
Tell me. The bedroom door is locked. You want us to boot it?
Yeah. You need anything in your clipboard?
No, I'm good. He's good.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Just one locked door?
Yeah. And we didn't boot it because the keys actually worked. What?
Oh, sweet.
That interview was last year, January?
It's locked because there's only one on here.
Maybe even February.
I'll talk later. Yeah.
I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough, see what we can see. Are there lights on in there?
There are some, yeah. And we can turn them all on. Very sparse.
Mallory, what was it? He goes, oh, fuck. Mallory's going to be all over that.
Fancy computer.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. That I wasn't expecting. Mallory's going to be all over that.
So, that I wasn't expecting. Mallory's going to be all over that. What's Mallory going to be all over? And what were you not expecting, buddy?
He was told he could do that I wasn't expecting. That's Mallory's going to be all over that. So he was told he could do a triage here. And then once it's packaged, we can't do anything.
Old.
Idaho Four.
Super old.
So he can triage it while we're still here.
That shit's
Cell
old as hell.
phone tracking complexities. The defense argues that connecting a phone to a tower provides only a vague location, especially in a region where a single tower may cover vast expanses. They contend that obtaining a cell tower dump, while seemingly incriminating, doesn't definitively place Brian Kohberger at the scene of the crime. In this vast expanse, hundreds, if not thousands, may have pinged off that tower during the same time frame. Prosecution's counter-argument. On the other side, the prosecution paints a different picture. They emphasize the significance of the phone's connection to specific towers before and after the murders. The abrupt cessation of signals during a crucial 2-hour window raises suspicion. Was Kohberger driving away from or towards the crime scene? The narrator delves into the intricacies.
I don't know. As far as I know, Danny, they had a warrant.
Acknowledging the circumstantial nature of the evidence while underscoring its potential impact. Focus on the white Hyundai Elantra. As the plot thickens, attention shifts to a critical piece of the puzzle, the white Hyundai Elantra, allegedly linked to Brian Kohberger. Surveillance footage becomes a linchpin, capturing the vehicle passing the King Road residence multiple times on the night of the murders.
Danny, you want me? Hold up, Danny wants to hear that part again. I got you, Danny. I got no problem. We're at 8:48 in the video. There's only 13 minutes. Let's go back to that part. So you're talking about this specific part right here. Correct?
Police department, show yourself. We have a search warrant for the building. Police department, show yourself.
So he's like, police department, show yourself. We have a search warrant for the building.
You're good, dude. Go back inside. Yep.
No lights.
Flashlights.
Yeah, so he said he definitely had. The guy who called had my spidey senses jumping. No doubt. Me too.
Talbot, the bedroom door is locked. You want us to boot it?
Yeah. You need anything?
I wonder if that was a neighbor that he told to go back inside, because he said, go back inside. So it had to be like a neighbor, or, I'm not sure if, I don't think he shared an apartment with anybody, right? I mean,
No,
we never heard that.
Thank you, guys.
Just the one locked door?
Yeah.
Yes, this is his
And we
apartment,
didn't boot it
Sharon.
'cause the keys actually worked. What?
Oh, sweet. Oh, even better.
I got you. That's coming right on up, Dana. Or Dana.
I'll talk later.
Either one. I think it's Danny,
We're
though.
just going to do a quick walkthrough, see what we can see. Are there lights on in there?
There are some, yeah. And we can turn them all on. Very sparse. Fancy computer.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. That I wasn't expecting. Mallory's going to be all over that.
Fancy,
so he was told he could do a triage here, and then once he packed it, he can't do anything until we get a warrant tonight before.
Correct.
Yeah, fancy computer.
So he can triage all that. We're still here.
Cell phone tracking complexities. The defense argues that connecting a phone to a tower provides only a vague location, especially in a region where a single tower may cover vast expanses. They contend that obtaining a cell tower dump,
Thank you,
while
Lollipop.
seemingly incriminating, doesn't definitively place Brian Kohberger at the scene of the crime. In this vast expanse, hundreds, if not thousands, may have pinged off that tower during the same time frame. Prosecution's counterargument. On the other side, the prosecution paints a different picture. They emphasize the significance of the phone's connection to specific towers before and after the murders. The abrupt...
And if you want to rewatch this video is on my channel. Me and my guy, we sat down and wrote this script out and put this video together. We had plenty of videos dropping. If you want to look at the schedule, it's on my community page. I am updating the schedule on video drops. So if you're interested in that, go look. And also put your input on maybe deep dives you want me to do into some stuff about, it could be anything. It could be the Idaho Four. It could be another case. It could be anything. Send me your suggestions.
Cessation of signals during a crucial 2-hour window raises suspicion. Was Kohberger driving away from or towards the crime scene? The narrator delves into the intricacies.
He definitely is a dramatic reader. That's why I'm narrating every single video
The
after this one.
Substantial nature of the evidence while underscoring its potential impact. Focus on the white Hyundai Elantra. As the plot thickens, attention shifts to a critical piece of the puzzle, the white Hyundai Elantra, allegedly linked to Brian Kohberger. Surveillance footage becomes a linchpin, capturing the vehicle passing the King Road residence multiple times on the night of the murders.
Hello, I am Officer Loangus. Stops being audio and video recorded. I think you know why I stopped you. You were in the red light.
what actually happened was I was stuck in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah,
so
I was
forced
behind
to
you
turn
the whole
left.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, you're not supposed to enter
Thank
the
you, Kathy.
intersection
Kathy Nichols, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
at all for that reason, because if the light turns red, then you're stuck in the intersection, and then you're on the red light. So.
Yeah, where I'm from Pennsylvania, we actually don't have like crosswalks.
Oh.
So even if you're kind of slightly, there's a little bit more leeway as well. Like there are a few lines. Like there's one.
Get back full
line,
screen.
There's another one in front. Like there's like a certain margin from which you can actually kind of put your vehicle, place your
I still think they're
Web of cell phone data and surveillance footage. A theory emerges that Brian Kohberger might not have premeditated the crime, introducing an element of spontaneity or panic. The knife sheath left behind adds a layer of mystery, challenging the prosecution's portrayal of Kohberger as a meticulously organized perpetrator. Eyewitness testimony. The eyewitness testimony as a cherry on top. A surviving roommate, Dylan Mortensen, recounts a harrowing encounter with a masked figure on the night of the murders.
Dylan Mortensen. He said Dylan Mortensen. That's why T-REV will be narrating every video that my team and I put out from now on.
The description aligns with Brian Kohberger physical attributes, creating a captivating yet contentious piece of evidence. Dissection of eyewitness testimony. With a critical eye, the narrator dissects Mortensen's account, emphasizing its vagueness and the potential for bias. The absence of a blind photo lineup raises questions about the reliability of her identification. This testimony masterfully unravels the layers, leaving the audience to ponder the strength of Mortensen's testimony in the larger tapestry of the case. In the labyrinthine web of the Brian Kohberger case, a new chapter unfolds, a clandestine discovery rooted in the Instagram musings of Emily Alant, the confidant of Xana and girlfriend to Hunter Johnson. The narrative crescendos as Emily's Instagram post from late June surfaces, a casual poolside day immortalized with the words pool, lake, repeat. Donning the hat of an online detective takes the audience on a riveting journey, unraveling a digital tapestry that could reshape the narrative. Focus on Emily's Instagram post. The audience is guided through a Google expedition, scouring for locales near 1122 King Road. A tantalizing discovery emerges the Grove at Moscow, an off-campus student enclave. The plot thickens as parallels are drawn between Emily's June pool escapade, the July 6th pool party, and Brian's later encroachment into the victim's vicinity come August. The prosecutor's request for Snapchats from June 29 to August 1 serves as a temporal anchor, creating an intricate mosaic of potential significance, mystery, and revelation. I invites the audience to reflect on once unbreakable bonds and sudden divergences in Emily's behavior. And then, a chilling revelation disrupts the narrative, an assertion that Brian Kohberger's name reverberated through a spirit box before law enforcement.
Through the magic 8-ball. Did you hear what he just said? Brian Kohberger's name was said with magic 8-ball before police even knew who he was.
Brian Kohberger's name reverberated through a spirit box before law enforcement even knew of him.
Which four of the Idaho victims are here with me today? Haley. Haley! Woo! Let's say Haley. 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 Where did this guy come from? What is the name of the person responsible? What is the name of the person responsible? What is the name of the person responsible?
In the dark corners of Moscow, where cell phone signals waver and surveillance footage captures fleeting moments, the story of Brian Kohberger unfolds a tale of uncertainty, contested evidence, and the quest for justice. The courtroom drama awaits.
Again, this video is a brand new video on my page, so make sure you go check it out.
where the threads of this narrative will be woven into the fabric of truth or obscure.
And also to have, like, right after this video came out, again, Gary Galka, he looked at that footage, he heard it, and he said, what, like, he was blown away by that session. And some of you, and I remember doing that session. And that session, I think there was only like 60 people in there. This was back a while ago. Let me pull this up for you too, so you guys can. I want you guys to know who this dude is. So Gary Galka is from Ghost Adventures, right? Gary Galka is from Ghost Adventures and one of Zach Bagans' best friends. He is an inventor of the SB7 and more. He invents a lot of different equipment and puts out a lot of different stuff. So to have him, when he went over that clip, I was just blown away. I was blown away for him to give his professional opinion on it. What's going on, Saki? Welcome. I was there November 25th. Yes, November 25th was that exact session. What's going on? Ray says, I missed it. You missed the session? Shit was wild. Tammy says, yep. Wow, T. It's posted. It's on Twitter. His response to me on Twitter is there. You know, it's there. It's on there. So if you want to check it out, I actually retweet, or he retweeted mine. He said, oh, Sosa. Sosa was hype. Dude, that was crazy. We missed it. You said we missed it that day because we were tripping out because it was like they were replaying that night of what happened. Yeah, it definitely was like that. It definitely was like that.
In the fabric of society, teachers are entrusted with molding young minds, guiding them toward a future paved with knowledge and responsibility. But what happens when these three drunk teachers get caught? A shocking incident that occurred on August 17th, 2023, involving a 53-year-old teacher named Kimberly Cope.
All right, bet. There's some stuff coming in there. All right, I like that. And then we have... Imagine a night filled with laughter, music, and the promise of unforgettable memories. Okay. Just making sure we're good there. In unforgettable memories. That's my narrating voice. Let's get the narrative voice. We got, into the fabric of society. Teachers are entrusted with molding young minds, guiding the, you know what I mean? You gotta get into that. You gotta be into it. If you're not into it, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, it won't sound right. It won't. It just won't. 219-885-9693 if you guys want to call in. I guess I am going to have to get Twitter. I think you should. Twitter is pretty nice. Love your narrating, T-REV. I suppose I probably heard it because I watched as much as T-REV as I could find. Toy Airy says. But revelations are exposed. Which revelations are you talking about? Because there may be another video that explains those revelations. You got it, see? Yeah, I called that night. You did call that night. This P is guilty. Said this P is guilty. Work it, T. Sounds great.
It's been a year since 4 University
I gotta pop
of
this
Idaho
up too.
students were brutally stabbed to death in a horrific
Yes, I called that
that
night.
shocked the country. Ethan Chapman.
2 days in a row. Yes, I told you I'd be live today. I told you I would be back live today. I told you guys I'm back going live like I used to go live. At least you're gonna see more of me, right? It's freaking cold in here, by the way. I need to put this jacket on. My little race car jacket that's stuck on something. What the heck is going on here? Sosa. He said Sosa is on the case too. Yeah, he was just chilling on the bed. June Milo said, I heard the spirit box clearly say Brian on the Medium's channel way before we heard of BK. Yeah, on my channel, November 25th of 2022. It's still up there right now as we speak. You can go back and research it and listen to it without me. Like that part right there was me specifically clipping spots. You can go and listen to the whole entire thing like with no edits. There's no edits on there. You should get Morgan Freeman or James Earl Jones to narrate. That would be dope as hell. Shit. That would be dope. Libby Live. Thank you for the 10 months, Libby Live. I appreciate you. But I feel like you've been here longer than 10 months, though. I feel like you've been here for 14 or 15. Because you've been following me since I started Kylie Rodney. I feel like I definitely, you definitely been around since Kylie Rodney. You would be good at narrating a love novel. This is the breaks. So hold up.
In the fabric of society, teachers are entrusted with molding young minds, guiding them toward a
This is the voice you guys want to hear?
and responsibility. But what happens when these three drunk teachers get caught?
Is this the voice you guys? This is the this is the type of narration you guys want to hear instead of that. Welcome to the. We're coming here as a truth. You know what I mean? Like that guy, he was super dramatic. I debunked a crucial part of the case. Like, dude was like that. You know what I mean? He's like, I debunked a crucial part of the case. That's how it sounded to me.
Shocking incident that occurred on August 17th, 2023, involving a 53-year-old teacher named Kimberly Coates. An elementary school teacher, Jennifer Davis, is about to face a life-altering moment. Meet Tarara Fritz, a teacher from California who found herself in an unexpected situation.
Yeah, there's that this video coming out is crazy. Wait till y'all see that. And then we got the pan check video. We got the pan check video coming out. ASMR. I like what I'm hearing now much better. But well, they're all coming back. I should be receiving it back here shortly. I don't know what's taking so damn long. Because the Kylie Rodney video should honestly be uploaded right now. Let me see if I can pull this up and show you guys what I got for it. This is the thumbnail. I like the better quality of the thumbnails now too. I feel like it's way better, right? Tell me this quality of thumbnail is not better, right? Morgan Freeman. What did I miss? I'm so glad you're still on Kylie Rodney. Spelling. I still think stuff was that you're still on Kylie Rodney spelling. Still on Kylie Rodney spelling. It was definitely a fishy. It's definitely a fishy case. That's for damn sure. But yeah, Anthony Hopkins' voice is perfect. Excellent. I am looking forward to the Kylie Rodney vid. Yeah, it's gonna be lit. But it's gonna be probably about. It might go deeper as 4 episodes because there's so much stuff in it, and this is just this is just the start of it. This part is just the start of it because there's so much new stuff coming out right now, or not new stuff, but AWP, for instance. Last night I ran across the video from CC on the Kylie Rodney case, and the dude, what was it? Nick is speaking about when he dove down and went to the vehicle, right? He speaks about that. So, and they sit down for like an hour answering all these questions about the day that they were on the scene. Very interested. I listened to it from start to finish. I think it was like a 53-minute or maybe an hour and 12 minutes between that time frame that interview was. Prosser gang, I seen you in the comments too. Zoe. Detective Stalky Pickens. You say you like the Detective Stalky Pickens voice? I got you. I got a little skit Detective Stalky channel, you know, it's coming out. Cool T, as we know how the deep rabbit hole goes with that case. It's super deep. You have a mellow way of speaking with a nice tone. Gracious. Thank you. Are the episodes on your channel? No, they're here. They're gonna be here. You gotta remember, I started true crime with Kylie Rodney on YouTube. As far as YouTube true crime, like that's where I started at, Kylie Rodney. I still don't believe what we've been told about Kylie Rodney. Me neither. I absolutely don't. I think that we were lied to. I think that it's foul play, and that's why this whole series is called Foul Play or Not. Do you think that she accidentally drove into the water and it was a complete accident, or was it foul play? Something happened at this party and her body was dumped in the lake. Allegedly. I got to make sure I say allegedly, because everybody is getting sued now. So if you ain't allegedly, you might get your ass burnt up. But again, in this case, it's sus. I don't give a shit who they're suing. This shit is sus, and I feel like foul play, 100%. And without us coming in numbers, they'll never take a look at this case again, by the way. So if none of us, if we don't come together in numbers, in a big number of people in the community, in general, the true crime community, they will not take a look at this case again. Seriously, they're trying to completely just move on as if, you know, I don't know. It's super sus. And even Nick said when he went down in the water, there was, you know, red flags for him with windows being down and different stuff like that. That's what got me during the interview, the new interview that I just watched. So for him to stick to it being suspicious after having no connection with AWP no more and moving on, it's some weird stuff with the Kylie Rodney case. I'm telling you. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. We were lied to. Beck says, I can't wait, T-REV. We were lied to. Kylie needs justice. Absolutely. I call bullshit on Kylie Rodney case. Someone or two know for sure. You know, a lot of people were asking him, we're asking Nick, how long did the vehicle look to be underwater? Well, he said that it had algae on it. The vehicle had algae on it. So it definitely was in there for a little bit. So, but he didn't. I don't know. I'd have to go back and read and take notes during watching it. But after listening back that one time and him still, you know, saying that it's suspicious yesterday, that video came out. Very interesting. Again, it's on CCTV. If you do go check it out, let her know T-REV sent you, and that we are looking back into this and are going to be covering it. Definitely not right. Justice for Kylie Rodney. Her case is still open. Smiles are beautiful and contagious. I heard that it was open and then went and looked and seen that they called it an accidental drowning. So they say it's closed. But without, like I said, without us coming in numbers, they won't ever look at that case again. I don't think they'll ever look at that case again without us coming in numbers. You know, that's why we'll set up a petition, or I feel like we should set up a petition to open it back up, for that case to be opened back up. But again, we will have to come together as a community and work with the true crime community in general to get that open. Debbie Collier, yes. I'm going to be doing a video on that too. I agree. Broken windows, so sus in my opinion. Tammy says truth. Blake says, what's up, man? Glad to see you back. Nice to see you, Blake, man. I do remember you very well. Shout out to Blake. Footloose Will says she did not get herself all the way to the back of the SUV. I don't believe it. There we go. Let's jump into that topic too, because I remember this interview from last night. He said specifically that when a vehicle goes into water, that the front will sink down in and the body will be pushed towards the back. So it's not, what did he say? It's not uncommon. That's exactly what he said. If we watched the video, he said specifically that it was not uncommon for a vehicle to go in, and with the motor and everything and the weight pushing down and the vehicle going into the, lake, that it is not out of place for her that a body would go to the back. He did say that. And those guys are professionals at going in and getting these vehicles and doing what they do. Of course, they're not with AWP no more. I'm pretty sure Doug pushed off and did his own thing. Nick is doing his thing. Shout out to those guys and the work that they do. They do really good work. These guys are out there going into water and pulling vehicles up. So you said you will sign it? Definitely, we did. We definitely need to make some noise. She drowned yet? There was no water in her lungs. Yeah, it makes sense. Shake my head. Big problem I'm having. Is Kylie's family fighting too? Mandy, I haven't seen much on them fighting, right? I haven't seen much on them fighting or talking or even speaking. I know they're suing people, though. I know that allegedly they're suing a couple people. I don't even want to talk about who they're suing. Maybe you guys already know, but I've heard of a few people that they're suing specifically. I think it was Kylie Rodney's grandfather and uncle that were suing a few people. So I'm so glad I'm so glad you're going back on all these. The Debbie case, I don't believe she hurt herself. No, me neither. I don't believe she hurt herself either. And burned herself at that? Nah. You can't get me to believe that. You can't get me to believe that. USA says Kylie's mom just wanted to move on, I thought. When the episode drops, I think I should go live right after and we could talk. It's not a super long episode. I think it's a 10-minute video. But again, like I said, I'm going to do multiple parts of it because there's so much to this story. So much. No water in lungs. Is that true? Yes. That's how they put it. I remember waiting. We on panel exactly on my channel. I think it was me. Was that Eismick? I don't know if Eismick was here at the time. 2 Cents, my buddy who was looking at this case, who was actually able to get into the search. There was a search app, right? I think it was for iPhone and Android. They were able to crack a code and get in and find the things that they were found, that were found at where she was found. In general, in that whole entire search area, there was friggin' dive bags out there, or I forget what it was. It was like these sand weight dive bags that will hold you down underwater for divers specifically. Maybe CKI would know more about that, and I'd have to go back and look at it. And of course, when I drop another video, that's going to be something that I talk about, because on my channel, I show a lot of it in these panels. I do. I show a lot of them in the old panels. I pulled up this whole entire search list. We went through this alleged bloody trail. There was like an alleged bloody trail or some bloody item found with blood on it. And I remember seeing that, and I was like, what the hell is that? And then there was a phone found. And then there's just so many items that were on that list near the area that she was found. Does it have a connection? I don't know. I don't know if it has a connection. Alleged word of the day. Yeah, absolutely. Allegedly. Ellen Greenberg got a video coming on, Donna. Got a video coming on Ellen Greenberg, actually. And in fact, we're in the midst of writing that script right now. We are in the midst of writing the script on Ellen Greenberg right now. I remember the blood trail, and it seemed it was never looked into at all. About these diving bags, the controversy surrounding the diving bags, I believe it's surrounded by a YouTuber named Check It TV, right? It was surrounded by a YouTuber named Check It TV, and I believe he was the one that found those items. There was video clips of him and SF stopping by and talking to each other. I remember all that stuff. I mean, I've sat for hours on panels like I did with Idaho, with Kylie. So I'm very familiar with that case. Very familiar. There's maybe a few things that I haven't seen. We love true crime, says Oli Austin Free. Oli Austin Free. Why does that sound so trolly? Why does that sound so trolly? What? Huh? Look, loads cover up, in my opinion. Dana says, I remember the blood. Okay, I did read that. Delana says, I remember that black piece of clothing in the road too. People seem to believe that there was a sweatshirt found. Was it Jelani Day who was in the water for less days and allegedly his organs liquefied? Mom to 5 Kings, thank you for bringing that up. Absolutely. And I think it was D. Evans that's in here that popped up when I invited her on panel, and she showed me that case, the Jelani Day case. That's another one. Thank you for actually reminding me about that. I need to write that down. Jelani Day. Saving my notes. I'm gonna make a video on Jelani Day. Sadie Cat says, I'm sus of her best girlfriend. Maybe a love triangle gone wrong. Tow truck guy is a weirdo too. You talk about Nick. They talk about Nick in this video. Maybe I go over it. Maybe we go over it. Maybe we do a Kylie Rodney stream. I don't know who is interested in that case around here, but if you are, I am going to be revisiting that case. One of the things that bothered me the most in the Kylie Rodney case was all the photos were so altered and just fake. I want to know why, Dana Nelson says. And then no pictures from this alleged fight club. And there was alleged fight club. And then if you watch the video, specifically the AWP video where they pull the vehicle out the water, etc. I don't know if you remember the part where I think it was Doug who was in the middle of the water. He gets this phone call and he goes, there was this disturbing behavior, and they tried to block his mouth out. But if you actually watch the video, you could tell that he said Sammy. Allegedly, but I 100% would bet anything on that. I put my channel on it that he said Sammy. You could just see that he says it. They didn't do a good job covering that up. But he was like, we just got some disturbing news, and that there was disturbing behavior by a girl named Bleep. But you can, like, when you watch that part, you can see that he says Sammy. Yes, please do a Kylie stream. Yes, we got those coming. Trust me. This Trev, I don't know if you see my comment earlier, but if that was BK on a live call, do you think it would be someone in court? You might even be called called in for the state witness. I feel like they would have already got a hold of me because they are already moving forward. I feel like, so I don't think it's him, but people do. I don't think it's him. I personally don't. But if it was, then it was, and that will show itself. What? Hold up. Oh, okay, I got you. I was like, what? She's take your phone. Yeah, you said, yep. That's another thing. No pictures at all the parties. Teens take a lot of pictures. There were pics, and they were erased by law enforcement or hidden. We hear nothing about Rodney around here. I am 2 hours away. It is simply very quiet. You said it is simply very quiet about it. So they're very quiet about the Kylie Rodney case in your town 2 hours away? Good to see you. Yeah, troll crew. I see you. Oh, how interesting would that be if you called to testify real inside reporting? I don't think I'll be. To be honest with you, I really don't think I'll be. Even if it wasn't him, that guy was still sus. Allegedly, I feel the same exact way. That's my opinion. In my opinion, that dude's sus. Definitely pics and video from the party. Where are the kids? They were quick to be quiet. Hold up. Let's do this. Picture that night taking a sinister turn, leading to the mysterious disappearance of 16-year-old Kylie Rodney. This is the chilling. All right, yeah. I'm just waiting on one fix on that edit, and I will be dropping that video specifically. I love this, Aaron. I love this, Aaron. Aaron's your best friend. What? They photo that we all see. It was so sus. You said that the photo that we all see, the old photo from years ago. Pictures don't come out good in the night out in the woods. I mean, come on now. You could put your lighting on the. I've taken pictures out in the woods. That's crazy. I've been out in the country. I've taken pictures in the woods. I've seen pictures be taken in the woods and them be good. Our phones got lights and flashes on them. So even if it's so dark, when you do take a picture, the flash will catch you. But I can get what you're saying. Sinister is a great word for all these cases for sure. Toy says, what makes zero sense is where they found her car after experts clearing the entire lake. You know what? Let me pull this up real quick. I need you guys to see this real fast. Okay. Now, this was posted up again. This was posted up by CCTV. This is her video, 100% her video. And there are some things in here with a lot of questions asked. Maybe we can get a hold of Nick ourselves and talk to Nick too. But I do want to put my input into the story and continue to follow and try to get justice for Kylie Rodney, as we all believe. A lot of us believe that it's foul play. Some think it's accident. I get it. I respectfully disagree with those who think it's an accident, but we just want to know, like, was it investigated enough? I don't know. I just don't. There's just way too many things that were off.
A team member with me on our former search team that we were on. Hello, CC.
Here you go.
Thanks again for hitting me up about these questions that a lot of people have out there. I appreciate it. And I have,
again, that link that I just dropped into chat is CCTV. She's been honestly completely focused on the Kylie Rodney case and cases in that area. She covered Trinity Bacchus. She covered this. As also I covered Trinity Bacchus, and I covered this too. But this was new. This video right here is from yesterday, last night. It uploaded last night. There's a lot of information in here, questions that were asked that were answered that I've really never been seen answered before. So this is a very good video.
no problems. In fact, I'd rather get more of these answers out there to people that are interested to maybe find the real answers that we're all looking for. I'd like to introduce to those of you that don't know, this is Devin Carroll. Devin was also a team member with me on our former search team that we were on. He was the lead cameraman / producer.
What got me into this case? Oh, I'll tell you what got me into this case. A lot of shit got me into this case. It just didn't seem right. Didn't seem right. It felt off. You had Sammy running this search and then making statements like, allegedly making statements like, if you guys hear anything, make sure you contact me first. It's like, shit like that, especially with a missing teen that went missing from somewhere like that, and knowing that there was drinks and people were talking about drugs being around, etc. So this was very big, and that's how it hit me, because she was missing, and the fact there was just so many different things. They searched that lake, right? They searched that lake and didn't even find her on the first pass. AWP shows up and they find her. I don't know. All those things got me hooked. So when I jumped into the Kylie Rodney case, it was September 6th, I believe. Fact check me. Go back to my channel, because this is the first thing I ever covered, I believe, was Kylie Rodney, first live. And that's what got me hooked.
On that trip, and he was actually in the boat with me when I found Kylie. So I've got him with me today, helping out, and he can also help answer some of these questions, because he was there the entire time, and he may know the answers to some of these better than I do, because we were slightly in different spots at different times. So thanks for helping me out with this, Devin. Appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me help. And we want to be clear, first and foremost, we are going to answer the questions to the best of our abilities and truthfully to the facts that we know. So, we're not going to speculate on what other people did, on, what the intent was for X, Y, and Z. We're just going to answer them as we can. Think that's good?
Yeah. That's about it. So without further ado, let's get into it.
First question. How many dives did they really do at Prosser Lake?
One. They did one dive. Once we found what we believe to be the car, when we relocated back over by that little peninsula, I put on my dive gear. I got in the water, and I was only in the water. I've got my dive log here, but it was about 4 minutes total underwater. I would say I was only even in the lake, maybe 10 minutes at most.
I mean, from the time that he touched the water to the time he came out, it was about 10 minutes, roughly 10 minutes. So next question is,
Just Jen, this was the guy. Yes, this was the guy from AWP, 100%. This was the guy from AWP.
At what time of day did the dive happen? And I believe it was around noon.
You're gonna call me? You ain't calling me from no unknown number. I ain't answering it.
But that's
actually, it looks like 2:24. I don't know. I use this computer. This is the actual dive computer that I was using for all those dives. I still use it, but I don't know if I had reset the time for daylight savings or not. But it was somewhere between noon and I'm going to say 1:30, somewhere in that time frame. Midday.
Yeah, and to kind of add to that, and I know that there's a question later on that asks, but I was flying my drone around midday to be able to see the vehicle down in the water. So that's why I say around noon, but it was midday. Midday is probably the most accurate we can say to that. On what days did they dive at Prosser? I don't know the exact date, but you probably have it there.
Yeah,
but
it was August 21st And I don't know exactly what day of the week that was. I'd have to look at my calendar. I don't know if that was a Saturday or a Sunday.
Right. But we parked there the night before.
So what I'm gonna do that this video now that this video had came out, and what I plan on doing is going through this video again, taking a lot of notes from this video and taking a lot of the other information that we got and working with the guy on my team that we're going to sit down and write this script. And I really, it's probably going to be like a 5-part series. You can expect this to be 5-part series, every video 10 to 15 minutes, maybe even 20. I would put it all together into one big one, but I don't know. I kind of want to cover it piece by piece. I feel like it needs the attention. It needs the videos. It needs the reach, because I smell something sus with it. I smell something sus with it. So even I'd be happy if they even just took another look at it. Right? It was August. You said it was August. So it was August. Yeah, this video came out 18 hours ago. I'm glad that she was able to get him on there. I commented on here too. Great job, CC. Justice for Kylie. I think she was killed. Glad to see you still working late for Kylie. This video, man. I'm going to go through this video, take notes. But again, I'm going to go through this video, take notes, put something. I have to talk about what he spoke about in this video, because he spoke on so many different questions that we've all had for a long time. How would her body get to the back of the vehicle? How would, he answered all of these questions to the best of his ability. And I appreciate him doing that, because he didn't have to. He's doing it because he obviously feels something is wrong with it. And this is the person who dove down and discovered Kylie Rodney in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Nick Wren is the guy that discovered Kylie Rodney in the first place. Him and Doug. So, twin of who? What do you mean twin of who? Oh, the twin died of cancer? Who? You just stop, walk away, but typical me. I need to stop walking away, but typical me. August 21st. And then you said shit. Oh, and then that shit bag and diving company. All shady. I remember that. Was it Check It TV, right? Let me just talk about Check It TV. Closed case equals docs. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it means. Right? FOI that shit. Freedom of information. You should definitely get it. Leslie says, my husband, I took a trip up to Truckee because of your lives on Kylie. Actually, we went looking for tow truck driver too. Thank you for your channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've always thought that there was more to this and that it wasn't an accident.
And the day before, we had cleared a few other lakes, as you saw in the video. Next question. Why did we load all the boats back into the trailer and take it to Kylie Point? I'm assuming Kylie Point is where we found. Okay. Why didn't they just leave one of the members on the water while the others went back to get the RV? I kind of have an answer to this. We were trying to be as subtle as we could. And by leaving somebody on the water and circling around, it could have drawn attention, more attention. We had some other people of media traveling with us, and they were trying to get the scoop, get the story, and we just wanted to make sure that we weren't alerting them. And so we were just moving the RV in the trailer to get a better angle and put in at a different part of the lake, so we didn't have to travel as far. According to everyone else, the real reason is we were just trying not to stir up commotion.
Right, because again, once you find what you believe is a vehicle underwater, you don't want to raise any red flags until you can confirm that. So at that point in time, we had a suspicion, but we were still not able to confirm it. So that's when we loaded up, moved our whole setup over closer. Basically, logistical purposes, it was easier to maneuver, put dive gear on, and get to the spot from the trailer than it was clear from the boat ramp.
And those boats are terribly heavy. I mean, with two people, it's easy enough for us to maneuver them. I mean, we do it day in and out for a month straight. So it was nothing for us to throw it in and go around, because we wanted to stay as a unit as much as we could. Before going to the RV, we weren't sure if it was a car or a boat. However, once back in the water at Kylie Point, and before Nick even did his alleged first drive, how did we know it was a car, that it was Kylie's car, that they found Kylie's car, that it was a crime scene, and that a car had a license plate on it? So you can answer this one.
Yeah. So that one's kind of all over the place.
It's long. So essentially the question is, how did we know it was a car or not? We didn't, but there were two telltale signs. One, a magnet stuck to it. Most of the boats that are going to be in that lake are either fiberglass or aluminum. They're not, or stainless steel.
Right. And we also noticed
all right, at a show of, I would say a show of hands, but obviously I can't see your hand, right? So at a show of people who wouldn't mind revisiting this for a couple days, get a 1 in the chat. I'm just curious because I want to go back and revisit. There's a bunch of different things. As far as a live stream, I want to go back and revisit a lot of different details and things that stood out to me, which is why it was so sus. And I also could bring up a couple guests that I know that are deep into it like I am, that probably even know other shit. So 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. I see a lot of ones. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, bet.
Shape on the sonar did resemble that of a car. So
we were initially unsure, and I remember when you and I scanned it at first, we were just kind of skeptical that it would be anything,
right?
Because we knew that the lake was scanned prior, and so we were just doing this as a cursory search. And so when we saw it, we were just like, could it be a boat? Could it be a car? Right. And then we got a second set of eyes on it and verified as well, just to make sure, because it was kind of a high profile deal,
right? And so we didn't actually confirm it was her car until we actually dove on it,
and that's the whole reason for the dive. I mean, it doesn't take much for us to get into the water to dive on a vehicle or even a boat, but just to verify. We didn't know if it were a crime scene. We didn't, that's again, the whole reason, the whole answer to your question is we dive on it to verify. We dive on it to find out all of those answers, all those questions. The video shows both boats were still in the water when they put the buoy in the water before going back to get the RV and trailer to dive to Kylie Point. However, once they get to Kylie Point, there is no buoy in the water and only one boat is put back out on the water. So what other footage scenes in the video are faked or staged at Prosser? So, I mean, omitted footage. We didn't show the footage of us taking the buoy off.
That's my boy. Upchurch is my boy. Shout out to Upchurch, man. Shout out to Upchurch. I ain't talked to Upchurch in a minute, but shout out to him. And yes, he definitely did. Now, people don't agree with some of the stuff he said, and maybe I respectfully disagree. But in general, like definitely red flags, 100%. Like I may not have the same beliefs as him on like what his theory is, but the red flags, yeah, absolutely 100%. Shout out to Upchurch.
The whole point of us taking the buoy off was to not draw attention to the thing. Again, lots of eyes were on us, lots of eyes were on the lake. So we were just trying to be subtle again. The buoy was just not to draw attention, and we knew we could find it again once we got around to the other point.
Right. And to further go on this one, so what other footage was deleted or whatever?
Or fake stage scenes.
Right. Because the fake stage scenes, there was no such thing. But you got to realize we film everything. So if we were to try to make a video out of 20 hours of footage, how far do you think it would watch at? You basically put in the important parts. Some of this wasn't taken out for no other reason than to make the story
to fit within a time frame.
Right.
And to add to that, we had minimum 2 cameras, if not 4, two on gimbals, one in the air as a drone, a GoPro. So it's really easy to get tons of footage, and there's no way that people would sit through all of that when it comes to a production. However, there was a scene that I would say was staged where a member was walking out of the trailer, and it was a one shot that one of the other cameramen wanted to get, and it was just to add flavor to the video. But that was before we knew anything. That was before anything took off.
Yep.
What does Nick regret more, taking part in staging the fake footage?
Okay, so I did just get the fixed version back of the Christian Andriacchio, because I went through and took the narrator out and redid it myself. So that video, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna drop the Kylie video first.
Or getting caught staging the fake footage after the video was released.
What's going on?
Sorry, it's hard not to laugh at some of these questions. So, first of all,
Nick said it's hard to not laugh at some of these.
There was no fake footage, and because there was no fake footage, nobody's been caught for faking footage. So I don't know where that came from. I don't know how to answer that, because that's.
I mean, it's ultimately, if you're skeptical, you're going to remain skeptical. We're not here to lie to you about anything. We have nothing to gain or lose from this.
Right. In fact, if I had something to gain for this, I would have done it on my own channel. I'm doing this to try to help, because I know Cece is well more connected to this case than I am. I'd like to know what happened too, just like everybody else. So I'm doing everything I can to try to bring any questions that I may be able to answer to help with that. That's all.
All right, next question. Who was contacted first after finding Kylie's car? Was it the family, police, or management?
It was family.
Family first. Wholeheartedly family. You know, I can expand upon that a little bit. Dad and grandpa were on scene so fast, ridiculously fast. Like dad came roaring up on an ATV, and you know, he was just searching in the trees in the area. So they were the first ones to know.
Yep.
Who posted
this definitely really affected Nick Wren, man. If you, I don't know, I could just tell by the look on his face when he came up just from finding Kylie Rodney. So for, you know, all this time to go by and him to come out now and finally speak about it after time has passed, I love that he is.
On Facebook at 2:28 p.m. that they had found Kylie's car. I have no idea.
I have no idea. That's above.
I can tell you that I can tell you that I was angry that the post happened.
I didn't even know it did happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, who was in the air balloon when it was flying and hovering over the car at Kylie Point? So I'm not sure if somebody was in an air balloon over Kylie Point. I went up in the air balloon first thing in the morning. That was happenstance. The air balloons were just a couple of enthusiasts, a couple pilots who came out, literally 2 air balloons, and they were just playing.
It just happened to be where we parked in a parking lot there the night before to find a place to basically go to sleep. We woke up in the morning to these noises outside the RV, and it was the sound of 2 different air balloon teams setting up these air balloons, hot air balloons. And so that was something we didn't know about. They came, you know, you got to realize this is in the Lake Tahoe area. It's a touristy place. There's a lot of stuff going on. So apparently it's popular for these people to use that spot as a hot air balloon launch site.
As far as being in the air balloons, getting into the air balloons, I was woken up by one of the other members, and
they specifically get into it in this video. They also say in this video that if they drop the full footage, it'd be 20 hours. So we're talking, you know, if they drop this video or the extra footage that they had, it's 20. Or I think I said 20 minutes. It's 20 hours. 20 hours of footage. He says it.
Was told, hey, grab your camera, there are air balloons outside, hot air balloons. And so we went out and just filmed because it was a cool scene, you know, for us to just see in the morning. It wasn't going to be added to the video. This is for our own stuff. And I actually have a shot of one of the people on one of my YouTube shorts. And you'll see, I think it was the 2022 recap. And there's one of the ladies who's, you know, shooting flames into her hot air balloon. So our enthusiasm got us invited aboard the air balloons, and I took it as an opportunity just to at least look above. It wasn't anything more than what our drones could see.
I remember this part.
We're coming in for a landing, especially if it's a high wind landing, face the direction that we're traveling. That way you see what we hit when we hit it. And hold on in 2 places. There's the rope handles here, the tops of the tanks, the uprights. And by holding on and having your knees slightly bent, you get to follow rule number 1, which is what? Stay in the basket. Number 3, ballooning.
Well, okay. We're going to go through this. We're going to do a live on this. I think what's going on? She comes in here, does this, work what she's got to do. Maybe we come back tonight and do a Kylie Rodney live tonight and just dive into it until the late hours. Maybe bring some people up on panel tonight. 6, 7, 8. So I can come on for a night live again. I'm ready to dive back into this with information like this coming out. With information, you know, with them talking about this information, this is all fresh to my ears. For this case in general, because I haven't heard Nick's side this deep. So an hour. It's a 52-minute. I want to go through this again. My girl needs a studio, so I will talk to you guys in a little bit. I love you guys. I appreciate everybody who called in, and we may be back tonight. So stay tuned. Talk to me in Discord. Love you, and I'll holler at you guys here shortly. Gotcha. Thought I froze, didn't you? Didn't freeze. I was just messing with you. 1, 2, 3. Which one is it? Hold up. 1, 2, 3.
G-ball. You gotta stop doing this.
Look. All my life has been neglection, so now I pick up the pen and use it as a weapon. Yeah, you can see that I'm affected. People getting killed for nothing but obsession. You need to look at your reflection and decide who you are. Stop acting disconnected. Got mothers killing kids. People kill to live. Well, I be on the mic, speaking how I live. Every day I wake up, it's another person that's dead, and YouTube has to solve it because the law is failing kids. I'm disgusted at the evil in the end, and if you connect the dots, you'll see the vision in your head. Why do people die as victim to the streets? They wonder why I'm up all night and can't sleep. I'll be the voice for everyone who can't speak. L.E. fell Kylie, and now Sammy is free.